All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Casual Rage. I almost said Raging Ryno, which would have been just really stupid. How are we all doing tonight or today, this morning, depending on which part of the world you're in? First, let's say hello to our beautiful guests. We've got Lyndon. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Just had dinner. Nice.
Just had dinner.
Yeah.
It's pretty much midnight, dude. It's past midnight and you're having dinner.
Yeah, well, I had my stream, and then I was like, I'm hungry.
How was that? Unfortunately, the Tigers lost.
Tigers lost, but the Panthers got up by a point, so they'll be in the prelim.
I wasn't watching any of that. Well, if you're interested in any of that, anyone in the chat, go and subscribe to Lyndon Hall. Very, very good footy streams. Mara, how you doing this morning, I should say. I was going to say tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still waking up, so it might as well still be tonight for me. But yeah, I'm doing well. It's about 10:14 in the morning, my time.
Okay. So we got you at a good time. You had your coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
That's right. I always ask that, and I always find that everyone I ask is always the person that doesn't drink coffee.
Yeah, pretty much. That's me. So I don't drink coffee. I have
the energy drinks.
Yeah, like the Monster Ultras. So like the ones that don't have sugar in them but have the caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm big on the energy drinks.
Yeah,
I had 2 cups of coffee before this stream, like the last one, so I'm all pepped up and full of energy. And by the end of the stream, I'll be dead and ready for sleep. So it's perfect. Let's say hello to the chat. So we've got some of the usual suspects. I see we've got Lord Vader, and he's got a take on Darth Bane. We'll get into that. I don't think they can adapt it in their canon. That's the problem with what they've said about the rule of 2. So anyway, we'll get into that. Ahoy hoy from Dictator Dan. Fuck off, Dictator Dan. We got Trey Courtney in the chat. Hail. We got Joe Pineapples. I don't think I've seen Joe Pineapples in the chat before. Hail all. Hail. Daniel, of course. Good evening. Good evening, Daniel.
Yeah, that used to be Stunning and Brave Megatron.
Was it? I was wondering. Baby Megatron. I was
Baby
curious.
Megatron.
Goo goo gaga. Nice. Late and gay. Yes, we were late and gay, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit. Good morning. We got Orange Hat. All right. Let's get straight into the first thing, because I want to actually bring up this comment again. And I want to get straight into the Darth Bane stuff. So there was this rumor this week that, and I'm actually glad that you're here, Mara, for this. At least someone who knows the EU. And I mean, I've read Darth Bane, but let me just bring this up quickly. God, I'm still boomering all of this. Sorry, guys. All right. So there's this rumor going around that Darth Bane, Lucasfilm, they're making multiple plans. So whether or not it's a series or a movie, who knows? But just in regards to that first comment that Lord Vader brought up, I just want to address that. I don't think they can adapt it in their canon, because they've destroyed the whole concept of the rule of 2. They've now made it that it's 2 Sith Lords to rule them all, and I don't know how they adapt his story to that, especially after just recently reading it. Well, Mara, how do you feel?
Well, I want to address Lord Vader's, like, they can adapt it. They just ignore the EU, and he says he means the sequels. Well, they can't, because the sequels are in direct connection to, in a way, to the original trilogy, which is in a way direct connection to the prequels. And according to Disney, the movies are canon. And so if the movies, like the prequels, state that always there are 2 Sith, there are a master and an apprentice, they cannot adapt Darth Bane, because when you have Darth Bane and then you have the High Republic implying that there's a Sith Empire, it can't work within the Disney canon as it stands right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, like, I'm with Trey Courtney, leave Darth Bane alone. You said the EU was Legends. You said you weren't adapting it. Stop fucking cherry picking from it, please.
I completely agree with that too. I was thinking of that as well in regards to them saying that they wanted to decanonize the EU so that they could have creative freedom. Well, go for it. Have your creative freedom, but stop, exactly like you said, stop cherry picking from the EU.
Mm-hmm.
Lyndon, how do you feel about this? Have you got any thoughts on it?
Seeing as I haven't read it or know much about it, it's just pretty much the same thing as what Disney's been doing now, isn't it? Let's just change everything we've said doesn't exist and include it to fit our own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Fuck
I
you,
agree with
Disney.
that. Yeah, I think the other thing too is like, I think with I was actually thinking about it today when I was actually just putting the stream together and looking at the Darth Bane stuff, and I was thinking about Rebels and how they brought the Inquisitors in and things like that, and how that is essentially a change from the Rule of Two. That's actually more along the lines of what they're trying to do here.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I'm just reading Lord Vader's comments. Like in the Rise of Palpatine, it stated that the reason Bane started the Rule of Two is because he wanted to create a dyad in Disney Star Wars. It doesn't make any sense if you know what a dyad is. It doesn't make any sense. Darth Bane hated the Jedi, so he wouldn't create anything that had two parts to it that would be like equal and opposite, such as like dark side, light side, to bring balance. He didn't care about that shit. It doesn't make any sense.
No, that's right. And in regards to this comment, the Inquisitors aren't Sith. They might not be Sith, but then they're Dark Jedi that are essentially controlled by Vader and Palpatine in that era. So, it is kind of like having that, two Sith Lords to rule all the dark side users or something like that. They're still trying to create that concept that they tried to turn the Rule of Two into. And I just don't. I disagree with it. And again, I don't know how they can adapt this to that. The whole concept of the Rule of Two was so that they could keep building strength within two Sith Lords to eventually overthrow all the Jedi and infiltrate it infiltrate it basically the way that they did.
And
I don't know.
If they wanted a dyad, they literally had that in the EU as it was with Jaina and Jason.
Yeah, correct. But where are the Inquisitors in the EU? Mara, do you know?
Well, there were.
Where do they reference those?
I'd have to think about it because I can't quite remember where they reference those, but they're. I'm trying to think.
Darth Ovaltine. Thank you, Blake.
Yeah, I mean, they were, but they were dumbed down in Disney's Rebels, the Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, and they were given helicopter lightsabers,
Yeah.
which was one of the most ridiculous things. Hail, Open-Airlock. How you doing, mate? Thanks for being here.
So that element is like that was within the EU. That's always been there. Like Orange Hat Review says, like they're Dark Jedi on a Sith leash, essentially. They're not Sith, but controlled
that's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that, because again, Clone Wars and Rebels, it's one of those things where they're adapting things from the EU again, aren't they? They're sort of cherry picking, and they did that with Thrawn as well when it comes to Rebels. So of course they're picking these things out of the EU, but of course every time they do that, they're dumbing them down and cucking the character. And like, again, don't get me wrong, Lord Vader. You got to understand, I want to love Star Wars just as much as anybody else. But there's so many things that they're doing that, don't get me wrong, I would love to see a Darth Bane series. I would love to see exactly how it's done in the novelization and put it on screen. That would be awesome to see, I think. Especially that first novel. Could you imagine seeing that first novel on screen, Mara?
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to do something different, and instead of, first off, instead of at least continuing or taking from the EU to create a true sequel trilogy, if they want to do something different, then all you had to do was go back in time within the EU, and you had a perfect dark trilogy with the Darth Bane books.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer Lord Vader's statement, yes, I know that the concept is they still hunt Jedi. I'm not saying that they changed that. I'm saying they nerfed the Inquisitors to a point that the ragtag team of Space Aladdin, Freddie Prinze Jr., a talking cat, Twi'lek pilots, and a Mandalorian rebel without a clue somehow beat them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I said they nerfed them. They dumbed them down in Star Wars Rebels.
And when you read the Thrawn trilogy from Rebels as well, they definitely dumbed him down. Lethal, how you doing, mate? Thanks for coming.
I was just lying in bed and I overheard you talking about Inquisitors, and I had to jump in because I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you did.
Inquisitors were always a thing. Inquisitors aren't Sith, so they don't contradict the rule of two. If we were going to go down that route, then we could say that Mara Jade's a contradiction.
Okay, but I understand that. But what I'm saying, my point is that in Rebels, they tried to adapt the Inquisitors to be like how they want to define what the rule of two is.
No, they changed that after Rebels. The Inquisitors were just basically 2-cent shitty versions of how they were in the EU, just with helicopter lightsabers. I mean, you had like Inquisitor Jarek, who was like the leader of the Inquisitors in the EU, and he was like trying to rival Vader and take his place, but he was never a Sith. A Sith is a whole other level.
So Inquisitors are basically dark Jedi.
For example, Kylo Ren is a dark Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have a dark Jedi and Inquisitor Mara Jade, for example. She wasn't a Sith, and she used dark side. She was a hand of the Emperor, but they ain't Sith. Sith is a whole other level.
Yeah.
I'll play your cards right, baby. Make time to be your daddy.
So I'm glad you're here for this conversation, Lethal. How do you feel about this? I know it is just a rumor, and
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it at all. But okay,
No,
let's say this was not a rumor. Let's say it was an announcement. I mean, all the Lucasfilm, Disney Lucasfilm can produce right now is announcements. They can't really produce anything other than that and the Mandalorian. But that aside, let's say this was an announcement. How would you feel, and how would you think that they could do it?
You can't do it because it doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense in their continuity. They complete, and you know what? It was Filoni. If you want to blame anyone, it was Filoni. Filoni was the one that fucked Darth Bane in TCW. But I don't know. You don't really get much of a reaction from me in Star Wars, but when they take stuff from EU, I get a little bit annoyed. But I wouldn't watch it, but I'll just be like, "Fuck you." I'd say that, and then
and I was just going to say that's fair enough, Lord Vader. I'm happy to admit that I was wrong in regards to thinking that, but that's just how I sort of saw it after the announcement came. I'm like, maybe that's what they were trying to just push a little bit in Rebels.
You got to remember they're literally making it up as they go.
Where did that announcement come from? That the rule of two was now like 2 Sith to rule the rest.
Oh, fuck no.
It was
after Rebels.
I think it was during when they were announcing the High Republic project, because you saw on that board with the 2 words, Sith
That's
Empire.
Right. I wish I could find. I was looking for it.
And I remember reading.
Vader, are you on crack, dude? Go watch the episode again. Look what they did to him. He looks like a fucking Power Rangers villain.
Wait, who? What?
He's addressing Lord Vader.
Oh, okay.
In regards to Bane in Clone Wars.
What was I saying? But like on that board, it says Sith Empire, and I remember thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense because, like I said, even if you ignored the books, Disney said the movies were canon, and Yoda explicitly states in the Phantom Menace, always two there are, a master and apprentice. Like he's basically implying, whenever Obi-Wan fought Darth Maul, that's like the first Sith that they've encountered in millennia.
Yeah. So which one was he? The master or the apprentice?
Like there could not be a Sith Empire if you're following that concept of the rule of 2. Like only 2. He says like I said, master and apprentice. He doesn't say to rule the remaining Sith. He just says like there's only 2. So
yeah, that's in regards to this. In my eyes, the Disney canon doesn't count, but see, that's the thing. I can't have them bringing this in. It's like them trying to adapt Revan. Oh man, I couldn't imagine what they would do to him or her, because they'd probably make
Lord
it
Vader's smoking crack. Please stop it, Lord Vader. It's not good for your health. They literally changed him into a shitty Power Rangers villain in TCW. They got Mark Hamill to voice him.
Oh yeah, that scene where he sees him on when Yoda's going.
You know who I am? Random crackhead? Yes.
Yeah, when he's going to to figure out how to be a Force ghost.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that's what the plot was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the Clone Wars, they brought Bane in, and that was really like
That's what I'm saying. That's where they ruined him. Look at him.
I didn't think that Sith could be like a Force ghost, and I don't think he was coming back as a Force ghost. But what was he exactly?
I don't know. I haven't seen that shit in years. Wasn't he Yoda when he was tripping out?
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was basically one of those scenarios where Yoda has to face like the dark side.
Yeah, it was in season 6. It was in season 6 where he does go to learn how to basically become one with the Force, and the Wills give him those 3 tests.
Originally, Filoni wanted to use Darth Bane as a Force ghost, but then George Lucas was like, or maybe it was even Lucas, I don't know, but it's like then they said, like, no, that doesn't work. We can't, because Sith can't be Force ghosts.
Yeah, they can only be spirits.
Yeah, they changed it, so it's like it was basically Yoda encountering the dark side through his journey.
Wasn't he like off his face though, or something like that?
Yoda?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
No. Basically, what happened to Yoda is he started hearing Qui-Gon, and he thought that it was the dark side, right? Because everything right now, especially this deep into the Clone Wars, everything's clouded by the dark side. So he didn't know what was going on, and he didn't trust himself. So he basically goes to the Jedi Temple, the Jedi Council, and they meditate for like 3 days or 4 days. And basically they don't hear anything. And then he gets Anakin to get him out of there, because the entire council start thinking that he's turning to the dark side. And he calls on Anakin to basically get him out of there, and him and R2 go on their little mission they go to Moraban, as they call it.
Yeah.
And that's where he bumps into Darth Bane, and he faces himself on another planet, the dark side of himself, and then he realizes that the dark side is always going to be a part of him. It's just never going to take control of him.
Show what the fuck?
And last one, I can't remember what the last one was. There was 3 tests, and I know that I can remember those 2.
Yeah, I remember those 2, and I remember like what are those spirits called?
I thought the way they did the Wills.
The Wills, yes. I couldn't remember. Like, damn it, yeah, the Wills. They showed the Wills in that arc.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I actually enjoyed the arc. He goes to Dagobah. That's right. He does go to Dagobah. What does he find on Dagobah? Oh no, that's when he's first. That's when he first goes. He first goes to Dagobah, and Qui-Gon tells him what the sitch is, and then he bumps into the Wills.
Yeah, that's the implication. It's like at least in that arc is like that's where they're implying that's where Yoda figures out that Dagobah is like this protection to it, so it like masks like a Force user.
Yeah. Well, it's very.
He went there looking for raw energon.
That's where he finds that Dagobah is like surrounded by like the Force, basically, because there's a lot of living things, and he can.
I have no idea how it works in Filoni or Disney continuity, but it used to be that Dagobah was a dark side nexus. That's why he was hiding there, because it was like hiding in plain sight type thing.
Yeah, well, that's how it was. At least that's how it was. The arc in not Rebels in the Clone Wars made it out to be.
So it's still that. Yeah, that's okay. Right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They still sort of kept Dagobah the same in regards to it being able to cloud him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was like, again, I just don't think that they should touch Bane. They need to, if they want their own canon, well, then make your own canon and make your own characters and stop cherry picking from the EU.
I believe it's eventually going to happen, but just based on what I've seen, I just don't think this one's particularly real. This kind of reminds me of that. Remember when the Rose Tico show was announced?
Oh yeah,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Like, I would actually watch that.
All we get is announcements.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Fucking Raylo.
The Andor series, is that supposed to be going on still?
Yeah. There's that, and then what else have they sort of announced?
Well, yeah, the Kenobi series. I don't even know if they're filming that yet. But yeah, like I remember when they announced the Cassian Andor series, and I'm like, wow, you picked one of the most boring. I mean, I to be fair, I think Rogue One is average at best. That's my opinion. But you picked the most boring character in that whole group.
His droid will be the thing that carries that movie, that show, if anything.
Yeah, that's the droid. Basically, I think the droid carried the movie. Quite frankly,
yeah, it did
for a while.
I reckon out of all the deaths that came, he was the one that everybody was the most like, oh.
Yeah, that's.
I really like Rogue One.
I was like, for the rest of them to die.
You liked it?
Don't get me wrong. Like, I couldn't sit through any of these movies anymore. But Rogue One was probably like my third favorite one of all the ones I saw. I really liked it.
You talking about the Disney movies or?
Nah, all of them.
No. I thought it was going to be like, I'm gonna say Dirty Dozen, that kind of like basically old war movies in space, and I get this 2/3 basically just getting to like where they need to go, and I couldn't relate to any of the characters, to be quite honest. I thought Jyn walked around with a huge chip on her shoulder the entire fucking movie, and I'm like, get over it.
Of course she did. Why wouldn't she? Look at her story. She'd be pissed off.
No, I'm looking at her story. And it doesn't make any sense because you have a woman who was literally brought up by Saw Gerrera because she saw her mother killed. Now, you would think seeing her mother killed and her father taken when she was a child, she would at least be against the Empire. At least, at the very least, be against the Empire. She wouldn't be apathetic, according to that plot. She wouldn't be that at all.
When the fuck was she apathetic? Saw Gerrera's rebels were like, the hardcore ones.
Line in the trailer where she says, it's all right if you don't look up, pretty much. She doesn't care. She's not siding with the rebellion. I don't care if she doesn't side with the rebellion. But for fuck's sakes, you had that situation in her story, and she's like not at least against the Empire. That doesn't make any sense to the plot.
She steals the plans.
She's walking around with a huge ass chip on her shoulder against everyone, even though they did jack shit to her. So I'm like, bitch.
She steals the plans. How can you say she's not against the Empire?
Yeah. Why wouldn't she be? She saw her mother killed.
Exactly. She steals the Death Star plans.
But yeah,
how can you be?
Her father is still alive. After she sees her father is still alive, she was against everything up until
she was fighting with Saw Gerrera, and then shit got hectic, and she was like, "You're all a bunch of fucking liars." And then she said, "Fuck this." And then she was on her own, and then she spent time in prison getting some booty.
To the rebellion. Why would she? Why would she not be against the Empire? She wasn't against the Empire.
At that point, with Saw Gerrera against the Empire.
Over me, please.
But you're wrong.
No,
in
I'm
every
not
way.
Wrong. I'm not wrong.
How can you be? How can someone fighting with Saw Gerrera?
Mm-hmm.
How can you say that is not anti-Empire?
Yeah,
when she's shooting him.
She was fighting. No, you didn't let me finish. When she's fighting with Saw Gerrera, she's anti-Empire. But after that, when she got pissed off because he abandoned her, then she was like, "Screw the rebellion." What? Like she didn't at least attempt to, I don't know, continue some anti-Empire, anything like that. No, she didn't. She basically became all apathetic.
She was in prison, in an Imperial prison.
Yeah. But she said Saw Gerrera left years ago, so she was like in prison like that whole entire fucking time. Give me a break. No, she wasn't. She wasn't.
I think you're just making up reasons to not like Jyn Erso.
No, get it, Rome.
I don't like her, to be fair. I don't like her character development, but I'm saying the implication was that he abandoned her when she was 16, which means that it was at least 10 years. At least 10 years. You're telling me she was in prison the entire 10 years?
Even if she wasn't in prison the entire time, that doesn't make her not anti-Empire.
Literally, about not looking up, which means that she's perfectly willing to keep her head down, and she's like,
get on with her life.
To each their own, basically. At that point, so it doesn't make any sense.
That does not make her not anti-Empire.
She says, "Don't look down." She's like perfectly. She doesn't care at that point. She's apathetic.
She might not. That doesn't mean that she's not anti-Empire. She might, like I walk down the street and I see all fucking crazy stuff. I go, "All right, I don't want to look at that." It doesn't mean I don't like it.
All right, chat. Who won?
She wasn't willing to even go until she found out her father was still alive. She wasn't even.
Well, that's pretty good motivation. She thought her dad was a piece of shit.
For lethal. Who won? One for
Yeah,
if
you were anti-empire, and she would be like, "Okay, I'm going to do this job for you, and then after that, I'm done." But she was not willing to go until she found out that potentially she could be seeing her father. That's
pretty good motivation.
She found out from Saw Gerrera, what was going on with her father. That's it.
Saw Gerrera's a nutcase.
Hello, Greg.
But she got the message from her father through Saw Gerrera.
Morning.
Yeah, but what? Just because you get it for a Fruit Loop, undeniable evidence. Undeniable evidence.
She was not gung ho at all against the Empire until she found out what her father was up to, that he was still alive. After that point, she was like, basically, I'm coming here, fighting this guy, and then leaving. I don't care. Pretty much.
Stop it! You're breaking this family apart.
You're not Lord Vader levels of crazy, but I think we watched two different movies.
No, I'm watching. I watched that and I was like, I can't connect with that character at all. She's, I am agreeing with Indelible Grob. She was selfish.
You can be. She was anti-Empire, man. I watched the bitch shoot stormtroopers.
Which is your father, basically. That's not making you anti-Empire. If I'm saving a family member, it's not doesn't mean I'm not necessarily anti-against the organization going after the family member. I'm just saving the family member at that point. That's all she cared about.
Oh, the Death Star plans.
She only cared about getting the Death Star plans, not to save the rebellion, not to save the world, the galaxy, but to exonerate her father. That's all she cared about. That's all she cared about.
She grew up in Saw Gerrera's extremist rebels.
Well, then why wasn't she? Why wasn't she more gung ho? Even when he abandoned her, why wasn't she more gung ho and saying, "Okay, fine, I'll side with you for the meantime, as long as the enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point, so I will fight the Empire with you." Why wasn't she gung ho? She basically did not want to do anything until she found out her father was alive, and then she only cared about getting the Death Star plans, not to save the galaxy, but to exonerate him. That's it.
How many rebels did she kill?
What do you mean, how many rebels?
None. She didn't kill any.
Yeah, because she didn't care about the rebellion.
She was fighting against the Empire with Saw Gerrera.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. She only did it.
I get what you're saying. It just doesn't make sense. It just seems like you really want to hate the movie.
No, I don't want to hate the movie. I went in wanting to love the movie. I love the last 1/3 of the movie because then we actually see what was supposed to be, I think, Garrett Edwards' vision at that point. But the entire 2/3 of the movie, she's walking around, like I said, with a huge chip on her shoulder. All she cares about is either her own survival and then exonerating her father. She doesn't care about the rebellion. She doesn't care about fighting against the Empire until, like I said, she wanted to exonerate her father. She didn't want to get the Death Star plans to save him.
Because she's locked up in an Imperial camp thinking, hey, these guys aren't too bad.
You don't know how long she's been in that camp. They don't imply that.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make if you're in there for 10 years, one day? You'd be sitting there and going, fuck these guys.
It would make a lot of difference because that would at least give you time to build up a sort of a semi-hatred against the Empire, but she probably just did petty crime for the past 10 years because she wasn't fighting with the rebellion and she wasn't going against the Empire. So the Empire was basically taking criminals, petty criminals, and locking them up. She wasn't a terrorist or anything like that.
So if you got locked up by a bunch of people, you'd be sitting down thinking, hey, these guys aren't so bad.
No, I'm saying, why, if she were locked up, why would she, not be wanting to fight against them when the rebellion recruited her?
She did.
No, she didn't.
I saw this chick steal Death Star plans.
At the fucking end of the movie, only to exonerate her father at that point. Only to prove that she, because the rebellion did not believe, the rebellion were ready to kill him because they did not believe that he at all put any weakness in the Death Star. Until
I'd kill that cunt too, the fucking traitorous snake.
Until she could prove it.
Hey, Dave.
I don't know. She grew up fighting him with Saw Gerrera. I'm pretty sure that, and then she got arrested and went to prison with an Imperial prison. Yeah, I'm sure there's no resentment whatsoever. She's looking at the guards being like, I used to shoot motherfuckers that looked like you.
Lord Vader, for fuck's sakes. Because the rebellion was ready to kill him. They were ready to kill him. That's why they sent the X-Wings to shoot that facility because they, at that point, did not believe at all that there was a weakness until because she, for some reason, forgot to pick up the fucking chip with the message on it to show, hey, here's the proof that he put a weakness in the Death Star plans. That's why. That's why he was told. The rebellion did it. And she wanted to prove that, hey, what my father said in the messages I didn't pick up because I was like, still in shock about everything, even though I could have reached down 2 inches from my hand to pick it up.
Why there was a shootout going on?
Were the plans of the Death Star on that recording?
No, but it was him saying there was a weakness in them.
They still needed to go and get it.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and they didn't believe her. They didn't believe her, which is why she had to go with the rebels that weren't officially given the go-ahead to go to Scarif.
Oh, it's funny.
I remember that movie. You know.
I think you really, really, really hate Jyn.
No. I'm like
I hate her because of what they said. Like Luke Skywalker did nothing. It was all Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
I hated that. But that's
hating
me.
the plot, not the character.
That's just their exposition that they want to add to try and inflate their character.
Yeah, we got to tear down Luke. Luke sucked ass.
Hey, well, we've got a quick break. Greg, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for setting up a quick poll. And he's muted. Continue fighting, you two.
That's what I mean by exonerate her father, because she forgot to grab the message, and the rebellion didn't believe her when she said there was a weakness in the Death Star plan. So she had to get her crew that somehow they're buddy now, even though they don't have much time at all, to go get the Death Star plans to get them back to the rebellion and prove that her father was telling the truth, that he did put a weakness in the Death Star and wasn't working for the Empire willingly. There it is.
She was fighting them.
Did you whack your microphone?
Militants.
Did you whack your microphone in that rage there?
I'm moving it around. I'm spinning.
Oh,
it
that was you. Sorry, I thought it was
at the very end, and that was only because she had to at that point, because she was like going to get the Death Star plans to prove her father was not willingly working for the Empire.
Yeah, she killed a lot of them along the way, making that point.
Not along the way. Like she and Cassian Andor snuck in disguise. She wasn't like basically shooting them as she was going to find the Death Star plans. They didn't start killing each other until after they got there.
Oh, so we can add infiltration to killing as well. Yeah.
Thank you. You had to do that to get the Death Star plans.
Oh, so she got the Death Star plans. Sounds like a fuck you Empire.
Point of her getting them, but the motivation for her getting them, that's what I have issue with. That was the motivation. You're missing my entire fucking point.
I get it. It's just, you just seem like you just really, really, really don't like Jyn to the point where it's like, this bitch is responsible for bad weather.
No, I'm not like that to the point at all. You're missing my point, which is what's getting frustrated. I don't like her character, and I will flat out admit it. She walked around, like I said, with a huge chip on her shoulder the entire fucking movie. So I'm like, basically, bitch, get over yourself. Either fight for the rebellion, fight against, do whatever, or leave. I don't care at that point until the 2/3 of the movie. I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden she's gung-ho for the rebellion, and she wants to save the galaxy with the Death Star plans, pretty much.
Mother killed in front of her, father kidnapped.
Flat out stated that she didn't flat out stated that, she says, they cut out the line where she rebels basically. But in that meeting, she did not care with Mon Mothma and the generals. She did not care until she realized her father was still alive, until she realized, she saw Saw Gerrera's movie or message from her father that he put that weakness in the Death Star because he was not willingly serving the Empire. That was her motivation. Her father saving him and proving that he was not willingly working for the Empire. So at that point, when she's giving that little fucking speech around the round table where they're planning on maybe going to Scarif to invade them, she's giving them a pep talk, and I'm supposed to believe the entire movie, she was not a true rebel. No, she was not a true rebel.
It's not like she fought with them.
Selfish motivations, and she until after all those, now I'm supposed to believe that she wants to save the galaxy. Absolutely.
Okay, even if we went by that, she still went on the fleet with them. She still went and stole the Death Star plans.
No,
she still died for the rebellion.
No,
You're
she
talking
went.
about how
No,
she
she didn't
walks
go into
around with a
fleet
chip
with
on her shoulder. Why
She
wouldn't
went
she walk
against their
around with a chip
plans.
on
She
her
went
shoulder
against their
when
orders.
she just
She
saw
went against
her
their orders.
mother? When
Please,
she saw her mother get killed by the Empire,
She went
saw
against
her
her
dad get
She went
kidnapped,
against their orders.
gunhead,
Her father
and then
was
forced to
so
work for them.
her father
She
was
La, la, la,
fought with
la, la,
Saw
la.
Gerrera and
Her
went to an
father-
imperial prison. Why wouldn't she have a chip on her shoulder? I'd be pretty pissed off too.
No, she had a chip on her shoulder against everyone, not just the Empire, against everyone. Saw Gerrera, the Rebellion, the Empire. That's why I said she's apathetic. She's selfish at that point. She only cares about herself at this point. So I'm supposed to believe that she's all gung ho for the Rebellion by the end of the movie. No.
Yeah, well, technically, she hates the Empire and she hates the Rebellion because it's the entire war or the entire fight that's caused pain for her. So she hates both sides. She doesn't like any of it.
Yes, and she does not go with the fleet at the end. She went against orders. She went against with Cassian Andor, Donnie Yen's character, the other guy, the droid, and the engineer, and a little ragtag team of rebels. Because we're going against orders too. They were infiltrating a small group onto that planet. She didn't go with the fleet, not until the fleet the rebellion themselves decided after the fact that they were going to go attack Scarif after the small group of rebels left. She did not go.
She went and stole the Death Star plans.
Are you missing the point of the motivation?
No, I think you just want to hate her for any reason you can possibly find, and you're just stretching to Olympic levels.
Character development. If her character development at least made sense, then I would not be. I would like the character more. I'm looking at it from basically, essentially, a writer of articles, a future English teacher, things like that. All the stories I grew up with reading, all about character development, all about character arcs. Her arc does not make sense.
It makes sense. You just didn't like it.
No, because her arc did not make sense. If her arc at least made sense to the plot of the film, then I would like her character. I dislike other characters more than her. I'm just saying, look at the story itself. It does not make any sense to her character. The way
I'm going to say
beginning.
Okay, I'm gonna say that I agree with both of you.
You bitch.
No, I agree with Mara.
Yep, I do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I agree with Mara. But yeah, what's this other poll you've got here, Greg? I haven't seen it in the chat yet. I want to get that going. Anyway, Lord Vader agrees with Lethal.
I'm definitely wrong then.
I still think
you guys just hate Disney so much that
that was the one movie that I would put above the sequel trilogy, and even me thinking it's best, it's better than the sequel trilogy. I'm just saying, I'm looking at it from a character standpoint, and the way the characters were set up at the beginning, and I'm looking at the story progression. It does not make sense to how her character was set up to begin with.
I think we saw two different movies. The one I saw, they were like, "Oh yeah, you were a rebel with." Oh, that's the key word. You were a rebel with Saw Gerrera. She's like, "Yeah, I was." Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he abandoned her. She said when she was 16. And
Kylo Ren abandoned the Jedi Order. Fuck, guess he was never a Jedi.
No, I'm saying she literally says her line is you abandoned me when she was 16. She was 16. And so you have to imagine that she's in her mid to late 20s. So it's been at least 10 years since he abandoned her. I'm not
she even says to Saw Gerrera she doesn't care about the fight.
Yeah, she says
she stole the fucking Death Star plans.
Yeah, but that's because her dad told her that she needed there was obviously this
Who
thing.
did she steal them for?
The rebellion.
Okay.
Ultimately, the rebellion, but to exonerate her father because the rebellion did not believe her when she said what her father said in the message because she did not grab it.
There's motivations there, but it's still.
She stole from the rebellion.
It was the best movie out of the Disney stuff. Let's just put it that way.
Better than some of the. It's better than I'd say. It's better than all of the prequels and Return of the Jedi.
I'd say it's better than the Mandalorian.
Almost everything is.
Hello, Greg.
Good morning.
Who did you steal the plan for? The rebellion.
No,
Good for
but
that.
this is the thing. Like,
Yeah,
I understand where Mara's coming from because she even says that she doesn't care about the fight. She's basically, and then she gets the message from her dad, and she's then sort of given this slight sense of like she needs to exonerate her father. So, but she still hates. Basically, the Empire kills her mother, the rebellion kills her father, and the rebellion doesn't believe her. So she hates both sides. And again, like, I don't know. I just agree with Mara.
If she hated both sides, why would she work with them if they were just going to kill her dad anyway? Why wouldn't she just go off and try
They
and
killed
save
her
them?
dad. It was only after they killed her dad.
And she went off by herself with her, I guess, comrades, for one of a better way of putting it, against orders, because they weren't going to send her. They weren't going to go to Scarif, because they didn't.
And then Cassian went with her.
Yeah.
With a bunch of people.
Yeah.
A bunch of rebels.
So her.
Thank you, Pat Steven Seagal, for that comment.
Oh my God, no.
Hey, what do you got to say about that, Lethal?
I haven't seen Snyder Cut yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
But how's this poll going? Jim was useless. Well, not based on what Disney have to say about it. Can we move on? Are we able
No,
to?
Anakin was the hero because he could have simply grabbed the plans with a simple force grab instead of showboating with his goddamn lightsaber and throwing stupid the fodder that was in the hallway. He could have just grabbed the guy with the plans or just grabbed the plans by himself. He wanted the Death Star destroyed. He didn't like it. It's Anakin that saved it. Because without Anakin's blunder there, none of A New Hope can happen.
It's true. He could have just.
I mean, knowing Vader with his powers and the fact that he was literally like 40 feet away from the Death Star plans, he saw them. He could have done a number of things to get him at that point, and he failed.
Mm-hmm.
I say it's because he chose to fail, because he didn't like the technological terror.
Then why didn't he use the Force to lift up Luke when Luke jumped off in
Empire
Cloud City?
Because he saw
because
Luke,
he
Luke
wasn't.
have a choice. Luke made a choice, and he's like basically the realization that he had a choice years ago.
Everything with that question, when it comes to the fight in Empire, for me, always comes down to he wasn't trying to kill him.
Yeah, but I get that.
Oh,
but
he
I
could
mean,
have captured him
Luke,
by using the Force to hold him.
exactly. When Luke lets go and jumps off the thingy, why doesn't Vader just go, nah, where are you going?
Well, what you didn't see, and it was because of the camera angle, was he tried, but Vader accidentally grabbed the severed arm instead.
Oh,
Like, oh shit, wrong piece.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens all the time, man. You can't hold that against him.
Yeah, it's a simple error.
All right.
All right, we are going to move on. We're going to listen to Lord Vader. We're going to move on.
That's right.
And we,
Yeah, we're going to move on. Jin was a rebel. She stole the Death Star plans.
No, she wasn't a rebel. She
stole the Death Star plans. I saw her do it.
It was the enemy of my enemy is my friend at that point. It doesn't make her
she
ally.
was a rebel of the rebellion. She was a rebel to the rebellion and
So
the
she
Empire.
was an Empire. So she was part of the Empire.
No, she
The
was
one, the one line I'll give to Lethal is, what about that bit when she was talking to everyone and said, rebellions are built on hope?
Ah, sounds like a rebel to me. I rebel.
They didn't have that line in the movie, and they changed.
Yeah,
her-
well, they didn't have half the fucking shit in the Justice League movie that we saw.
Lord Vader.
They changed her character when they brought in another writer because they redid just about entirely Gareth Edwards' movie.
That's right. That's right.
So
They didn't have the
no,
tie.
that whole line where she says I rebel, that was removed. And I'm looking at the finished product. Now I'd like to see Gareth Edwards' product because I'd like to see what he would had plans for Jen, because I'm looking at what Disney gave us ultimately with the poor character arcs, at least for her, and then what Gareth Edwards would have given us. Maybe we would have gotten like a true rebel with Gareth Edwards' version. Maybe we got a true Dirty Dozen film that was originally intended, basically.
Maybe she wouldn't have stole the Death Star plans.
Oh my fuck! Oh, for fuck's sakes!
I just don't see how you can
Didn't make her a rebel.
any
She
part
did it.
pro-empire if you're doing that.
No, it doesn't make her a rebel. It literally, like Orange Hat Review says it up here, she used the rebellion to her own ends. It wasn't make her a
And
rebel.
why didn't she keep the plans?
To exonerate her father.
Who was already dead.
Because the rebellion didn't believe her when she said, the rebellion killed him, and 2, they did not believe her when she said that his dying wish stated that there was a weakness in the Death Star plans, and here's where the plans are. They did not believe her.
Well, basically what it comes down to is she saw that the whole reason why she never got to live her life with her father was because he had to go off and build this thing that he didn't want to build, so he put in a flaw. So now she's got to finish basically what he started. It's all about,
it still goes back to her father. That's her motivation. Not
poetry.
Not the rebellion, not fighting against the Empire in any way. It all goes back to her father.
It's poetry.
Why didn't she keep the plans?
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
No, seriously, was her dad dead by that point?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
She
Her
wanted to
motivation
exonerate
was
her
dead.
father's name, though, too.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So she
Why didn't she? Why
makes
didn't she? What motive? Like that also wouldn't make sense for her to keep.
She was saying what she was saying to the rebellion to try and get their assistance to basically get the plans to prove that her father was right. They said no. She went off on her own and decided to sacrifice her life to basically finish what her father had started.
And
wow.
I'm
What a
pretty
rebel.
sure her father would have given the plans to the rebellion. I mean, he sent that engineer.
Ow.
He sent that that Riz Ahmed character. So he would have eventually somehow gotten the plans through the rebellion. So her giving the plans to the rebellion wasn't just her being all of a sudden altruistic. It was like, I had to get these plans to the rebellion because they're the ones fighting the Empire.
Gotcha, Daniel.
I think maybe Megatron has it right. Jin's friends with benefits with the rebellion.
Pretty much.
Okay, now that Fat Steven Seagal's brain is thin.
And like I stated, I did not go in explicitly.
What is that name now? Congo Backtown?
Because I simply want to hate this character.
Congo
I think
Backtown.
arguably she has a better character development than Rey, but that's not much of a stretch. At the same time, I'm looking at her character development and it says her motivations do not make sense to how they progress throughout the film, to the point where she's going, like, the reason why she's getting Death Star plans. Not because she's a rebel, not because she's fighting against the Empire in any fashion. It all goes back to her father. That's it.
Okay, so we're going to just agree to disagree. We're moving on.
No.
Thank you,
No,
Mara. I agree with you.
disagreeing. We're getting to the bottom of this.
No, we're not going to get to the bottom of this because we've gone 47 minutes and all we've talked about is nothing that has been on the thing. So
No, we talked about a movie that actually happened.
I know but I wanted to talk about Darth Bane. Now we got
No, fuck you, Lord Vader. I'm not done. DCW fan, motherfucker.
we've finally got Greg here. I want to say hello. Hello, Greg. How are you this fine morning? Did you expect to come in here and hear all of this going on?
Hey, this is fantastic. I can just sit back and listen.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was fun. It was definitely fun. You guys should get a room for sure. All right,
Well, you guys need to do your you need to do your Nerdy and Lethal show because there's a lot of tension between you two that I feel like you could be resolving on that show. So Lethal, you got to do the show this week, all right?
See, I'm like the most unreliable person in the world when it comes to that time zone, that time slot.
I don't want to hear.
You were on a stream last week, really later. So yeah, but see, this is what happens. You guys don't get to have this. You don't get to work out some of this energy.
It's an okay movie.
Better than the sequel trilogy. I'm not, saying it's a bad. Really
That's a low bar, though.
It is a low bar.
But
this doesn't taste like shit.
I'm saying, if I were to rate Rogue One, I would give it a 7 out of 10. If I were to rate Rogue One, I would give it a 7 out of 10. It does not in any way change my feelings toward the characters and their motivations.
Catch me outside.
I wouldn't even rank it that high because a good chunk of the movie is just flat out boring.
Well, yeah, true.
I mean, the story is okay. It just takes forever to get there.
Yeah. It does drag out. The pacing's quite bad, I think.
That's why I'm like, I'd like to see Gareth Edwards' version, because maybe the pacing was better in his version. Because remember, like I said, they brought in another guy to really rewrite his film.
Because Kathleen Kennedy, despite being such an awesome producer that she is, can't manage to get a movie done without firing the same people she hired months ago. Like how many Star Wars projects has she had to do last minute replacements for major staff members on the project, like directors?
Oh dear God!
Yeah.
It's a Lucasfilm thing.
Scene on the beach where they're charging, like literally charging the Empire. That was supposed to be in Gareth Edwards' version, and that was not in the final cut. They removed that.
Say it, Mara. Say it. Release the Gareth cut.
Well,
Say
I do want them to release that cut. I do.
What is your name, Lethal?
Yeah.
That's funny. Now that we've got Lost Jedi here, we didn't get to hear what you have to say about this Darth Bane rumor. How do you feel about this? I'm completely getting away from Rogue One.
About Disney, their Lucasfilm planning. Well, for one, they're not going to make it because they can't finish anything that they start.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too worried as far as being a fan of Bane, the Bane trilogy book. Doesn't matter because they won't finish it. If they do manage to finish it, I'm sure they will make it terrible. Because the Bane story, if you make a Sith movie and you don't make it R, then fuck off.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to do it.
And Disney will never make it an R-rated thing. Like, the shit that Bane does, I need to see. I want to see those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Disney doesn't have the balls.
What about in that one where Darth Vader kills the kids? That wasn't rated R. That was pretty hectic. And you don't see it.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, you don't even see it. You just see the kid look freaked out, and then it cuts away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want the director's edition of that movie where you do see it though, along with a version where he kills all the Tusken Raiders too.
How you doing, mate?
Darth Bane.
Darth Bane is a rebel. Debate, go. We'll be here for another hour.
Well, if they introduce him into this continuity, there's no reason why he couldn't be.
Why he couldn't be? That's true.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to come back to the whole point that they can't adapt Darth Bane properly because they completely screwed the rule of two in regards to it's now two Sith to rule the rest, and that's not what Darth Bane's story is all about. It's about building power within two Sith and only two Sith, powerful, and they become powerful enough to then overthrow the Jedi.
What evidence do you have that Disney gives a flying fuck about something like that? They should. Yes, we can. We can. Well, yeah, maybe they should, but then they'll make Bane whatever they want. They'll make him trans. They'll do whatever they fucking feel like, and they'll make Revan trans. Convoluted, stupid, young adult novels to justify it or explain it or whatever. They don't give a shit. So that whole thing about the rule of two, who cares? They don't.
Why would you do Darth Bane when you could do Bane Evan?
True.
You got anything to say, Bane Evan?
Huh?
You got anything to say for yourself, Bane Evan?
Jen Erso was a rebel.
No, she wasn't.
That didn't sound like Bane. Fuck off.
Right. Oh, I can't do the voice. No, I can't do the voice at the moment.
All right, we did talk about Bane earlier. I just wanted to hear what Greg had to say and what his thoughts were on it. I don't think that there's much validity to the rumor, being that all they can produce at the moment is constant announcements after announcements, and of course the Mandalorian, which we're about to get into. Anyone want any last words in regards to the Bane rumor?
I seriously doubt this will even come to fruition. Like Greg is pointing out before, all they can do is, and you pointed out earlier, all they can do is make announcements right now. Yeah, all they can do, rumors and announcements. And I doubt very seriously that this will even leave the storyboard group. if at all.
Where did that rumor actually start?
Did Bane have the Death Star plans?
No, Jyn Erso did because she's a rebel.
All right, enough. I got to stop
where did that rumor
highlighting
start
comments like that because you're just going to keep bringing it back to fucking Jyn Erso.
He
Fuck
did
off,
because
Jyn
the
Erso.
ancient Sith actually designed the thing and then put it in a holocron, and then he unlocked the holocron. But then, yeah.
So where did that rumor start from? The Darth Bane one?
It was only on Star Wars Direct.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
where
not sure exactly where they heard it, but yeah, that's what the ones that are reporting it.
Are they any good?
I don't know. I don't
I
bother.
don't know. I watched Ryan's video on it, and it was, yeah.
I wouldn't believe it if Iger came out in a press release and said, "Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do a Bane show." I'd be like, "Yeah, you can't get any shows off the ground, so that's nice."
But they better not touch Revan either. Like, they've got to just stop. If again, it's that whole thing that Mara and I were saying earlier on in regards to they got rid of the EU. If they wanted that so that they could have creative freedom, go and have your stupid creative freedom. It's so stupid, and I completely understand Galen Merrick.
Honestly, I think Disney as a company is tits up unless they get a bailout. So I think none of these announcements matter.
Really?
The only character I can see them making a female is Revan, and that's primarily because you have the normie crowds only going off the Kodor games, and in the game, you could either be a male or a female.
Yeah, that's going to be the worst thing.
Yeah, if they're going by the book, he's a male. The EU, he's a male. There's like no.
It wouldn't
change.
surprise me, Lord Vader. It honestly would not surprise me if they made him trans based on the fact that you could play as a male or a female character. Wouldn't surprise anyone? I don't think.
No.
What it is when Revan's with the Jedi, he'll be female, and then when he turns Sith, he'll like grow a penis.
So does that mean like in one moment you can have him take off his helmet and it's a dude, and the next scene she walks in?
Yeah, it'll be like the new Assassin's Creed of a Hollow game, where like literally
they've all got weird tattoos.
You can change from guy to male and female, female to male.
He can turn to the dark side because he gets really pissed off when somebody misgenders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You say misgenders?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they misgender him, then he gets all fucking. He goes on like a rage fit and turns to the dark side, and then. Yeah.
So it can't be a robot in KOTOR. Racists. Sorry.
I would actually watch that. That'd be funny as.
We can continue talking about the Bane stuff, but I also just wanted to show this. This is the newest poster that came out for The Mandalorian. It's him on the speeder bike.
That looks cool.
It does. It's a great looking shot. It's got Baby Yoda in here. That's the one thing I don't like about the photo. But this is on that ice planet by the looks of things, obviously with the water and the ice and the snow. This looks like it's one of the sand planets that can either be Tatooine or
well, where's the shot in the trailer where he's on a desert planet, most likely Tatooine, and it's like the shot where it looks like he has Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yeah, that's true. But it could also be the planet that Grief Karga's on. I can't remember the name of it, and I've even just finished watching it.
Melbourne.
So I just want to say I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do my review on the first season. Shut up, Lethal. My delayed reaction. I'm going to do a season 1 review, and I rewatched it. Now, this is only the second time I've watched now The Mandalorian first season, and it's definitely still not good, but it's not as bad as I started to build it up in my head. There was some good bits, and there are definitely some bad bits, and the bad bits definitely trump the good parts of it. But
whoa! Too soon. He just got COVID.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you guys like this poster?
Well, the posters themselves
good.
Look great. It's just, it's really not. It's really not making me want to watch the second season at all.
Well, I got to be honest. The posters look to me like they're more about the Mandalorian than the entire first season. So hey, it's an improvement.
Yeah.
At least he's the biggest thing on the screen, and he's like centered. I mean, so
fucking Baby Yoda's in every photo.
One-off episodes with Ahsoka coming in and Sabine, possibly.
I think that this season's just going to be an absolute shit show. But I despise season 1. I think it's some of the worst writing in television history.
Really?
Oh, actually, like follow the plot, and you basically have a 15 to 20-minute episode, and you could have gotten the whole season over with.
Well, how long's each episode? An hour?
No.
Oh no, they're so lazy on this one. They have all the time in the world because it's streaming, and they don't have to worry about the next show starting. So they made them 28 minutes or whatever.
No, well, there's not one episode that's the same length as another episode. They're all different lengths, and I think the longest one was 36 minutes.
I think one got into 40s, didn't it? Like the last one or something.
Oh, yeah, no, I think you might be right. 43 minutes or something, and the shortest one is like 28 minutes or something like that.
To have short episodes in a season that's only 8 episodes long is pretty sad. And then to have multiple filler episodes in a season that's only 8 episodes long is pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the boys are like an hour long a piece. It's like 8 episodes, like the same number of episodes.
If you look at like character progression for the main character, like he starts off as a badass, and like 30 minutes into the entire series, he converts to reluctant hero and does not change and does not grow one bit for the whole rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people described him as like a cucked single dad.
Yeah,
he does have daddy issues. He's got droid issues as well.
Kind of. I mean, they tried to fill in some backstory, with this long, drawn-out scene of him getting like rescued by Mandalorians on some planet that's
I was
sieged.
just recently watching that. I was watching that today, and that scene
whole
where
sequence is boring.
Yeah, I know you're not wrong, but when his parents put him in the pit, that whole thing, that little bunker, like they could have fit in there as well. That's what I didn't understand. There were so many bits like that where I'm going, ugh. One thing that I think I learnt about the tracking fobs, I should leave this for my review, but I won't. One thing that I learned, I think, about the tracking fobs is that they do have a distance on them where they don't work. So I believe that it's like within that, like you've got to be on the same planet or within like at least a certain range of the target. And the only reason why I say that is because there's a couple of scenes, and I'll get more into that in my review, but there's a couple of scenes where it kind of pushes that could be a thing. Now, again, that doesn't justify how they even work in the first place. I mean, if you're on the same planet as someone, a planet can be pretty fucking big. So if that is the case, well, then it's still fucking stupid and they still don't work anyway. But I'm just saying it seems that way now that I've watched it again.
So in the episode, though, where needs to land on Tatooine to get his ship repaired because somebody was tracking him.
Yep.
While they were in space, how far were they tracking him from? Did a bounty hunter just happen to get close enough where the tracking fob went beep, beep, beep?
That's correct. I understand what you're saying in regards to that because that is a thing that happens. But obviously, we don't know how long they've been tracking him. We just know that they are within, obviously, attacking distance. And anyway, the fobs are still fucking stupid.
What does that mean for
no way to make a fob work?
Well, what about like does it completely make the probes redundant when they're looking for the rebel base, one that Chewie blows up?
Oh, they're just gonna say they invented them in 5 ABY.
Within the 5 years after the
they invented them when the Death Star exploded, but didn't explode and actually crash landed on Endor. But a little piece of it flew out, and they used that and made a tracking fob. It's the first one of its kind.
I totally forgot. For a while, I remember when you mentioned that, it did all come back. But for like the past few weeks, I thought this was like before Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
definitely after.
It's
5 years after.
4 or 5 years after.
Yeah.
It's basically, it starts 9 ABY.
But that means that the Baby Yoda thing, the child, has been alive for, while the Clone Wars were going on.
I'm telling you, Yaddle.
Yeah.
Yaddle was hiding a pregnancy. That was the real scandal of the council.
That's how the whole Clone Wars started.
Well, that's how I think Yaddle got on the council, because Baby Yoda's, he's 50 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 24 years at the end of so it's 5 years after, so 29 years, and then be like another 21 years, like pre Battle of Yavin. So, and the prequels, I don't know, maybe like his story, maybe it's like between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Hey, does the thing talk?
Not yet. Hasn't spoken a word yet.
It's supposed to be toddler, quote unquote toddler equivalent age this season, so we might hear some words here and there.
Toddlers can talk. That's the.
Yeah, but like that's what I kind of saw, that he might start speaking, and like the rumor, at least like when I guess like someone shared that, like the Reddit stuff, the rumor was like his first word was going to be try.
Is that right? Is the Baby Yoda thing the same age as Anakin? So born like around the same year as Anakin or something?
Yeah.
Did you say its first word's going to be the word try, as in T-R-Y?
Yeah, well, that's the rumor.
No, wait. Okay. But there is no fucking try.
Not according to Filoni. Apparently there is.
Oh, that's right. It's a Filoni show.
Or do not. It is a Filoni show. But again, I will watch it, and I just want some good Star Wars, and I wish it would make sense, but I don't see how they can. They're doing another 8 episodes in this season, and they're introducing new characters. We've had this discussion before, but
Well, what's your biggest worry with it?
Well, my biggest worry is that they've created things in the universe now that I need answers for me to be able to justify it in my own head. But I don't see how, even if they were to even give me an answer, I don't see how they can give me a proper answer. So basically with the tracking fobs, how do they work? If they just go, it's a DNA thing. Well, okay, that's a bit bullshit, isn't it? And lazy and stupid. And again, that takes away from the fact that there's so many bounty hunters out there that have so many different strategies and ways that they catch their bounties, and you're taking away from the individuality of every bounty hunter out there by giving them a tracking fob. Every single one can just get a tracking fob, find their thing, find their bounty, and go for it.
Well, if it's DNA based, then why don't they have like some sample of Luke's DNA somewhere? I mean, for example, where did they get the lightsaber?
That's right, and that's after this. So why couldn't they find him in The Force Awakens? But that's stupid anyway, because I hate The Force Awakens. I hate all of that.
Why don't they track Poe after he escapes using DNA? Like the whole sequel trilogy breaks with tracking fobs, because why would the First Order use them at all?
But then you even go forward and you go, well, in Empire, why did Boba Fett need to go out with the garbage before they went into hyperspace so that he could track Han, Chewie, and the Falcon and that all the way back to...
Because he wanted the bounty. If the Empire killed him there, he wouldn't have gotten the bounty.
But you know what I mean? He didn't have a tracking fob to find him. He had to use a strategy that he thought, okay, well, they just disappeared off radar. I'm going to go out with the trash, and then hopefully they'll be there and I'll follow them. It was a strategy thing that Boba Fett came up with, and it worked and all of that sort of thing. And I just feel like it takes away from that, the tracking fobs. And then there's the whole thing with Baby Yoda being able to use the Force without any, training. I mean, they've done it with, And then there's a couple of things that happen. You got the Bacta spray. You've got the
the instant heal in a can. That's
Bacta spray. That sounds like an RPG or an MMO item. Like, come here, I'll just spray this on you.
No, literally, like Mando is so wounded that he's like, "No, leave me behind," and
I'm gonna
like,
die.
Okay. And then the fucking robot like gives him a little hairspray shot in the temple, and it's like, oh, my mortal head wound is now cured. I'm just
and it's like almost immediately he's back on his feet and he's okay and good to go. I mean, like Luke might have had hypothermia or something like that, from being, in the cold on Hoth, and he had to be in a Bacta tank for how long?
If only he had the Bacta spray. If only he had the Bacta.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's just
why didn't Han take one out there with him while he was looking for Luke? He could have just sprayed him up right there instead of shoving his ass in a tauntaun.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
Put a bandage on Leia after she got shot.
Yeah. No.
Spray to can was not invented until 6 ABY. That's what they'll be like. Oh, see, it's canon. It wasn't invented until.
Nah, I can justify that one. I wouldn't waste the spray on a female either. You get the bandage. I need that spray in case Lyndon gets shot.
But this is the thing. The Baby Yoda species thing has used both light side and dark side force powers. And
because he choked?
And he's been able to force heal, which the only way Rey was able to force heal was because she learnt it from the Jedi texts.
She stayed in the Holiday Inn the night before as well. That's why she was able to figure all that stuff out without training.
Yeah. So, it's just there's so many. As they're trying to create these things, like, I want Mandalorian Season 2 to be good, but it's almost like I feel like it is the Force Awakens of the TV stuff, and I'm truly expecting that after Season 2, it's not going to be as bad or as damaging as maybe the Force Awakens. The Last Jedi. But I feel like the reaction's going to be similar.
As far as choking being a dark side power, does Luke not choke the guards in Jabba's palace?
Yeah, well, technically, I think force choke is, but it's like the implication that it all depends on the users. It's not like it automatically will turn you evil or turn you to the dark side, but it is considered a dark side power.
And to be fair, if you have a point there, room and saw a pig with an axe, you'd be pretty tempted to choke it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so he did.
If I had force powers, I'd be a Sith. As soon as I got 2 minutes into traffic, I'd be force pushing cars off the road and shit.
Yeah, but can I just say,
people left and right.
In regards to Luke doing the force choke in Jedi's Temple, I know this might be a little bit light on, and I might be stretching here, but he did it really with no emotion. He kind of just stood there and just went, brush this guy off, and it wasn't really anything. I don't know. I might be reaching a little bit, but
no. Like I said, like the power itself is considered a dark side power, but it really all boils down to the user, because Luke used it, others have used it, and they did not automatically go to the dark side.
See, I think force choke is honestly such a simple, like low level force ability that I don't think it really has a light or dark side. So I would say that like Baby Yoda doing the force choke thing wasn't necessarily like dark usage or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Scott, he force choked them. You see the Morian guard hold his throat. He force choked them.
Last time Luke Skywalker used force choke on Mara Jade, 9 months later they had Ben Skywalker.
Well, there you go. It's not always dark side.
It's a very useful skill.
Yeah.
Force choke in the bedroom.
Well, I mean, think about it too. I mean, it's the best kind of birth control being a force user, because you can just, pull that shit out if you didn't.
Well, she told him that she was on birth control. It was an outright lie. It was like the last little part of Palpatine in her mind.
Oh, God.
I actually didn't even think about that, baby Megatron, in regards to like, I always used to think about like, why didn't Obi-Wan force heal Qui-Gon, or what was another one? There was another one, but I never thought of that one.
I wouldn't force heal Padme. I hate Padme. I'd leave her to die.
Mm-hmm. And yes,
I'd probably choke her.
You'd heal Rey. You'd heal Rey and you'd let Padme die.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Fuck off.
But yes, like that's the point. He used Mace Windu used Force Crush, but like using an ability is not automatically mean you're going to go to the dark side. How often you use it and the motivation you use it, that will take you to the dark side, but not the powers themselves.
Yeah,
But see,
I think
this is how much Disney
the higher level skills can be attributed to one side or the other. So if you look at like Force Heal or something like that, well, not even that one. But yeah, like channeling like lightning, that would be like, I don't think you can do that. And like, I'm thinking happy thoughts. Here's lightning. Like,
Yeah.
All memes and jokes aside, I honest to God do not like Padme. I've never been a fan.
But see, like, this is the thing though. Rey uses the Force lightning, and that is definitely a dark side Force ability, and only
she let it slip like a fart. That was what she was concentrating too hard, and she was just like,
you know what's really funny about that scene is like Kylo Ren is literally like what 10 to 20 meters away from her.
And he's like retarded level of stupid because he could have just like force pushed her instead of like trying to grab the ship.
Well, no, not only that. After she blew up the ship and Finn's still going, Rey, come on, Rey, come on. He was just literally standing there and watched her walk away from him. Did not like literally didn't even take like you don't even see him after that. It's anyway. I don't want to get into that.
Because none of the like distance, nothing makes sense in that whole sequence there because like how close the ship is to where Chewbacca gets taken, how far off Rey wanders, and like the fact that those guys captured Chewie but nobody saw them capturing Chewie, like none of that shit makes sense because it's all literally like right there in the open minus like one rock. But they're on the rock, so they should have been able to see like everything.
They should edit like me into the movie, just watching it happen, being like, "Fuck you, I hate you."
Like laughing.
Lord Vader's starting to agree with you more and more, Lethal. There's something. Maybe you are.
I gotta be honest, man. I never liked Padme. Never liked her. She's always annoyed me.
Fair enough.
The whole thing's her fault.
Like her attitude is kind of annoying. Like I mean, she's an important character and had a lot of like importance in the Senate and things like that. But yeah, she's kind of smug in her righteousness about her political beliefs. Yeah, she's not particularly a likable character, honestly.
She slept with Palpatine.
That's gross.
Oh, can we see that deleted scene?
Well,
no, thank you.
She definitely did it.
All right, I'm going to move completely away from Star Wars, and we're going to go into the other thing that was on the docket for tonight. And this is just going to be a little bit of fun. So last week when I was wrapping up the show, I was thinking maybe we can find somebody who's defending or saying that Civil War is the best MCU movie. And I went searching, and I couldn't really find too many. There was a couple, but they were pretty So I found this ranking of the MCU, all 23 movies. So it includes Far From Home. And I decided that we're going to do a quick breakdown ourselves, and the panel, we're going to do one just all together. So I'm going to just pull this up quickly. Let me blow that up so you can see it a little bit. Oh, what? I'm going up and it's getting smaller. Why is that?
That's not supposed to happen like that.
I'm literally look 75%, 50%, and it's getting bigger. That's weird. We'll just stay at 100%. Okay, I'm also going to put it in the chat so you can all do your own, and you can compare. There it is there.
It's bigger.
You can compare whose is bigger. That's right. No, you can compare your own list with the video that we're about to have a look at. It's only a 10-minute video, so hopefully it won't go too long. But this is how we're going to do this. So there's 5 of us on the panel. Basically, it's almost like a vote system. So whoever, like if 3 people were to vote for Far From Home, and 2 people would vote for Endgame, Far From Home wins. All right. So let's go through it. Just a discussion. I reckon Endgame personally on this one.
even with the issues I have with the time travel and Endgame, I'd probably watch Endgame as well over Spider-Man Far From Home because that's not Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's PlayStation 5 remastered Spider-Man.
We might actually get some words out of Lyndon for this segment too. Sorry, Lethal, what were you voting for?
I haven't seen Far From Home, so I guess I have to go with Endgame.
You would have to, yes. Greg? Oh, that's already it one, but I still want to know.
To be honest, they're not too different as far as like they're pretty close in rankings as far as I'm concerned because I really didn't like Endgame. And I see Spider-Man for the MCU Spider-Man for what it is, and I don't get caught up in the it's not comic version. But I probably would watch Endgame again before I watch Far From Home.
Cool. And Lyndon?
Oh, I'd watch Endgame before that, but I don't like that. Yeah, he's not Spider-Man. I get it. He's Iron Man Jr. Okay, we all get it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, cool.
We almost had like
I wasn't done, but he wants to go on.
No, keep going.
Like that's the same thing with all comic stuff. Like not everyone's favorite character iteration of a character in any movie or comic book is going to be everyone else's. That's why art is subjective. So fucking get over this shit.
Yeah, but the issue is, Lyndon, is like a lot of us feel that he's just basically been reduced to an Iron Man sidekick.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's shit. It's shit to see, but like,
well, Spider-Man.
Don't say he's Iron Man Jr. He is.
He's Iron Boy, pretty much, because in the comic, like he doesn't have to exactly be comic book accurate because this is the MCU, but in the comics, he invents his own stuff. He makes his own suits. He makes like whatever he needs to use. In the MCU, he's completely almost completely reliant on Tony.
Yeah, he just seems like useless.
Fuck, sorry, Ryan. Hello, how you going, mate?
I'm eating, but I'm good right now.
Ryan, one question.
Is it pizza?
Jyn Erso.
Is it too early
do you
for pizza?
consider Jyn Erso to be a rebel?
She rebels. No, I not really. She's kind of a mercenary, kind of hired on.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. The mercenary.
Moving on. 45-minute discussion.
Moving on.
No. Move on before we get into this.
Can't handle a conversation when Ryan comes in and agrees with Mara, but he'll go all hard if it's against Mara.
What I was saying is like Jyn Erso wasn't really part of the cause. You know what I mean? She just kind of got wrapped up into it, mostly because of the family shit.
Yeah,
I don't think she was really. I don't think she really cared about the rebellion.
That's what I said.
I'm shaking my head. She's a rebel.
Thank you. Well done. How's your morning been, Ryan? Doing well?
I'm doing okay. I can't stay for too long. I'm eating, and then I got a couple things to do, but I want to stop by and kind of say hi to you guys. Are we talking about the potential of a live action Spider-Verse right now? Is that what's going on?
We might actually talk a little bit about that, but no, we were just going through. We were ranking the MCU movies. Because then I've got a video that we're going to go into that this guy breaks down his ranking, and we'll see. It's interesting.
Oh God!
So we were talking just quickly. As soon as I got you here, we were just talking about Darth Bane earlier and that rumor, and I did watch your video, so I basically do know your thoughts. But how do you feel about it?
I don't want it to happen, and I honestly, and I talked about this in the video. We get another rumor every fucking week about, oh, look, Samuel Jackson's on board to do a Mace Windu prequel. It's like, all right. Okay, whatever. Oh, there's 2 Lando series in the works. One with Donald Glover, one with Lando Calrissian. They're working on a Young Palpatine series. There's going to be a Rose Tico Disney. You know what I mean? So I think that in a lot of ways, these are just little rumors, and maybe this has been talked about behind the scenes, or maybe it's just somebody being like, oh, it'd be really cool to do this, and they'd write it down on a piece of paper, and some retarded intern walks by and is like, we got a Darth Bane series. So, but one of the things is they have so bastardized the rule of 2 that I don't really see why they would bring him in, because it wouldn't be the rule of two. Clearly the Jedi and Yoda, they were just wrong the entire time. And I also didn't think about it until I made that video, but even if they do bring him back, it might not be 1,000 years before. It might not be a millennia before, like we would all expect him to be, because I wanted to get that one appearance. I wanted to watch that one appearance in the Clone Wars before I made my video. And Yoda's like, "Oh, you're the ancient Sith Lord Darth Bane." And I was like, would Yoda, who's, fucking 850 years old around at that point, maybe almost close to 900, would he really refer to someone who died 100 years before him as ancient? I don't think he would. For someone that has a lifespan of a millennia, would he refer to someone who was around just 100 years before he was born as an ancient Sith Lord? I don't think so. So maybe that's just Filoni being fucking retarded. I don't know.
There you go. Well, yeah, I completely agree. They've completely cucked the rule of two, so I don't know how they're going to adapt a Bane trilogy or a Bane story to their... Again, if they wanted their own universe, fucking play in your own sandbox. Get out of the EU.
Yeah.
But anyway. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. Let's continue on with this, shall we? So, I think we're all going to agree that Ant-Man and the Wasp is what we'd watch over Captain Marvel, correct?
It's not even that good, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Did you say no? Fuck you.
Never seen either one, never will.
I honestly have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but so far it could have been worse than Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel's the only one I watched.
Have you seen any Marvel movie between like 2015 and 2019? Then you've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
yeah, true.
Well, I saw the last MCU movie I saw was was Doctor Strange. That's the last one I watched.
I don't know why Black Panther's not showing up, but I think we're all going to agree.
It's in. Oh, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
What? What? Spit it out.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I think we're all going to agree that Infinity War beats Black Panther.
I haven't seen Black Panther.
I haven't either.
Racist.
I say
I
Power.
haven't
Right?
seen-
Yeah. Well, fuck off, racist.
Yeah, I literally said I haven't watched it since Doctor Strange.
It was.
It's definitely
Yes, Infinity War is clearly the king.
Yeah.
Oh, Infinity War, definitely. Not even close.
Homecoming
Oh,
or
God.
Ragnarok.
If I can shoot myself in the head.
I'd have to
I haven't
go
seen
Homecoming because I haven't seen Ragnarok.
Yeah, but I do have an issue with them making it a comedy, so I probably, gun to my head, would say probably Spider-Man Homecoming, but I haven't watched Ragnarok.
Lyndon.
I'd watch Homecoming.
He's
Probably
going to say
Homecoming.
Ragnarok because he likes Ragnarok.
Yeah, I do like it, but there's better feeling, like tension
I would have.
in Homecoming.
Yeah, I probably would have gone with Ragnarok as well, but we're outvoted, so Homecoming wins. Doctor Strange versus Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's got to be Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Guardians Volume 2, so I'd go Doctor Strange.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Was Volume 2 after Doctor Strange?
Yeah, but in the timeline, it's not. It's in the timeline, it's before. It's 2014.
Or
but it came
then
out
I
2017.
did see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So yeah, I must have repressed that one. I did see it because it has Kurt Russell in it, and he plays.
Yeah,
He's just dead.
correct.
It's
but I
basically
would
just like,
probably
hey, remember everything that Guardians of the Galaxy? Remember everything you liked about Guardians of the Galaxy? Let's just max that out to 1,000.
Yeah,
pretty much what.
I agree.
Pretty much.
Well,
I
I'm
did like
voting.
Marvel.
I'm voting Doctor Strange. The
Yeah.
chat's pretty split on this, but I'm Doctor Strange. What's everybody else? Mara.
I would go Doctor Strange.
Ryan's
I
Doctor
say-
Strange.
I say Doctor Strange. I like Beyond and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but yeah, like Ryan said, like they max it out to the point where it's like, oh my god, this is fucking annoying. Please stop.
Yep. Lyndon.
But Guardians 2 opened up the jump points, so you knew how Hulk got to what was that fucking planet called?
No, he got there through
Ragnarok.
the Bifrost, didn't he?
No.
Got there because he believed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wasn't flying the Avengers?
I know. I at least need one more vote for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what does Guardians of the Galaxy have to do with Hulk, Lyndon?
Yeah.
Because they opened up you know how they do the jump points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, So that's how Hulk would have gone through when he left Avengers: Age of Ultron and he was flying off, and no one knew where he went. So he would have hit a jump point and then got to that planet that everyone's on in Ragnarok.
Oh, but they never showed. They never showed.
They never
anything
showed.
like that in
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, they didn't show it, but I'm saying that's they explain
okay.
how he gets there,
Right.
Okay.
but not directly, obviously.
Yeah.
I need one more vote for Doctor Strange between Lethal,
it,
Greg.
actor.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Ant-Man and Civil War.
Oh God.
I haven't seen Ant-Man, so
God,
I'll have to go to the
that
I haven't either.
I saw
So that's-
both. I saw both of these, and you know what? I'm probably going to get a lot of hate in the chat, but I'm going to go with Ant-Man.
Oh man. Okay. So I'm
I
gonna go with
really-
I'm gonna go with Ant-Man too. So that's 2 votes Ant-Man, 2 votes Civil War. What do we got, Ryan or Lyndon?
Oh wait, did you count mine as a vote for Civil War?
Well, you've only seen Civil War. You can only pick that.
I would rather watch Captain Marvel than Civil War.
So you'd rather watch Ant-Man than Civil War.
Ant-Man's got to be better.
Okay. So
I
Ant-Man.
hated Civil War.
So Lyndon and Ryan.
God, the way you're treating these movies. Okay. Civil War. Just fuck you all.
I need Ryan's vote to see what happens.
He's
Ryan left.
He's coming back.
Did
Yeah,
he?
he's gonna be
Oh,
right back.
okay. Civil War wins. Fuck. Ryan, I need you to come and vote for Ant-Man. All right. Civil War wins it. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or Age of Ultron?
I would actually give that one to Guardians of the Galaxy over Age of
Sure.
Ultron.
Easy, Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guardians.
The Dark World versus
Winter Soldier is number one.
Winter
which one?
Soldier.
Oh, fucking A, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Dope.
The Avengers versus Iron Man 3.
I haven't seen Iron Man
Avengers.
3.
I saw both. I
He's
did
gonna say that he hasn't seen anything.
I didn't like the fake out with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, so I'd give it to the
No, that
Avengers.
was
Or that he
bad.
blew up his entire army of suits, but then had them 10 minutes later in the next movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I will say on in retrospect, I like watching Iron Man 3 over again recently. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was the first time, but it's still not very good. I would definitely choose Avengers.
It's the ending that kills that movie for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gwyneth Paltrow, like, she could have just I don't really understand what happened with Gwyneth Paltrow after she got those powers. Like,
Yeah, me either.
they just I don't really know. They gave her an injection. You're like, you're no longer superpowered.
You're all good now.
I don't think Tony could have figured out a way to make that benefit him.
And instead of her having superpowers, he makes her a suit. So he takes her superpowers away and then makes her a suit. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. She could have been able to heat up food in her hands or some shit.
Yeah, that's all she's good for, is it?
The fact that it didn't
Make
burn her
popcorn.
clothes off is unacceptable.
So
Unacceptable.
I thought they kept her
Please
around
stop
to make those candles.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
They kept her around to make the place smell good.
All right, so we got Thor versus Captain America, the first Avenger.
This is actually kind of hard
Thor.
because I enjoyed
Oh,
both.
Thor.
It is. So that's 2 votes Thor. I've got to go with Captain America.
Mhm.
Actually, I fucking hated the first Avenger.
Really? I liked it. Who else are we missing? Lyndon, what do you want?
Well, I love Cap.
Okay, so that's 2 votes Cap, 2 votes Thor. Mara and Lethal. Can you at least agree on something tonight?
Yeah, we agree that Jin was a rebel. I haven't seen any of these movies.
Oh my god.
So based on the character, which one would you rather see?
Oh, I like
Based on
Hugo
character.
Weaving, so I'd probably watch Captain America.
Okay.
And I fucking hate Padme, so
And Mara.
Mm. I think in
If
this
it comes to a tie, I'm just going to say if it comes to a tie, it means my vote counts.
I'm going to go with Captain America because while I think the first Thor movie is probably the only instance where we actually see Thor,
That made my decision easy.
I liked First Avenger slightly better.
There you go. Perfect. All right, this one Incredible
I
Hulk
actually
versus
go with
Iron Man
Hulk
2.
over Iron Man 2. I actually go with Incredible Hulk over Iron Man 2.
Lyndon.
That's the only one I haven't seen, Incredible Hulk.
So you'd have to go Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Greg.
I'm going to say Iron Man 2. I don't think they're that far apart.
Yep.
Like if I were to rank them, they'd be pretty close, but
Lethal.
I reckon the Incredible Hulk is the only time in the MCU we actually get Hulk.
Okay, so you like the
Mhm.
Hulk. I like the Hulk movie too.
I mean, at least it's not Mark Ruffalo.
I agree, but the problem with the Incredible Hulk is it literally has like no ramifications on the MCU.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess we do get introduced to a character that we see later in the MCU, but
it's one of those movies where it's, I think, referenced in the first Avengers film or something like that when Ruffalo says, like, you know, he kind of destroyed Harlem, but like you said, it had no ramification. But like, to be fair, like technically they don't consider it part of the MCU, so I'm still going to Incredible Hulk in this case.
Even though the post-credit scene had Tony meet.
They basically
they basically just
did
had
everything when they recast Ruffalo. They redid everything when they recast Ruffalo, so it really has no bearing on the MCU. So it might not even be part of it.
Ryan,
I'm gonna go Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is not very good, but I feel like it is pretty important and introduces a lot of things into the MCU.
I'm going Iron Man 2 as well.
I really wish
you
had
it's got Black Widow and kind of
that's what tipped it over the edge for me. Black Widow.
She looks good now.
We got Far From Home versus Iron Man. I think we're all in agreement that Iron Man wins that. Right?
We need the film gob intro. Where's the film gob intro?
Iron Man versus Endgame. I think we can all agree that Iron Man wins that as well. Correct?
Yeah.
Just some loud yeses would be nice. Yep.
Iron Man.
Black Panther versus Captain Marvel.
Oh my God! It's the race card versus the whammon card.
Yeah. I have to go with the race card personally.
Black Panther's still in blackface right now. Can't see him.
Could you imagine if Captain Marvel had blackface on?
Oh my God! I have not seen Black Panther, so I can't really comment which one I would rather watch. I've only seen Captain Marvel.
But you wouldn't pick that, would you, over Black Panther? You'd probably rather watch Black Panther, even though you haven't seen it.
Yeah, actually, I would rather watch neither of these two, quite frankly. But
well, we have to pick one. So what would you pick?
Black Panther. I would pick Black Panther. It's just fucking boring. Like it's just very average and mediocre. Whereas Captain Marvel, it's really hard to watch Captain Marvel, especially with like retroactively what it does to.
Yeah, I'll go with
character.
If I had to watch one right now, I'd probably pick Captain Marvel.
Of course you would. Fucking Wraithel. Fuck off, cunt.
I don't know. Whichever one you guys pick, will be fine with me. Like I said, I have not watched Black Panther. I've seen Captain Marvel, and I would rather watch neither of these two, but at this point, I really don't care.
Lyndon, it comes down to you, mate. Which one is it?
Well, Black Panther has Andy Serkis, so 100%.
Black Panther it is. Black Panther versus Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh my God.
Oh God. I'm not seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm not seeing either of these two.
Yeah, man.
I'm purely going with Ant-Man and the Wasp because of Paul Rudd, even though it is such a bad movie.
Okay, if I had to watch one, I'd pick Black Panther.
Okay, that's one each.
Is that little bar at the bottom like the progression so far?
Yep. So we got to move.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah. That's where we're up to.
All right,
just play a video.
Everyone in the chat has already probably finished theirs.
Yeah, just to speed this up, Black Panther.
Okay.
I'll watch Black Panther.
I've never watched either of them.
Black Panther, because at least I did watch that one and I never watched Ant-Man.
Yeah, Black Panther wins then. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Thor Ragnarok.
God damn it.
It's the same fucking movie poster.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Slightly different tints.
Force Awakens? Or is it Aladdin?
I have to give it to Thor Ragnarok over Guardians 2, personally.
I probably would too.
I've only seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so I can't comment on Thor Ragnarok.
Lyndon,
No.
you got to go with Ragnarok. I know you.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't like what they chose to do with Ragnarok. I don't like the side they make it a comedy, but at least in some parts that are actually like emotional, it's not like you killed my mom and you broke my Walkman. You know what I mean? Like, so I would probably give the edge to Thor.
I'll give you that at least.
All right, Thor's got it.
I think I would pick. I'd probably watch Guardians 2.
Okay, and
I haven't
Greg.
seen either of them.
Greg would
I
have gone
think
with
Doctor
Thor.
Strange over Thor Ragnarok.
I don't think
Strange.
I don't think my vote matters in this case, but I wouldn't watch either one of them again. I guess I mean, Ragnarok's at least a little more fun.
Yeah,
I would say Doctor Strange because at least it felt a little different.
me too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Doctor Strange. So
Okay,
I'd pick
that tips over the edge. I want to know what Lyndon would pick. Which one would you
Strange.
pick, Lyndon?
I love Strange.
Doctor Strange versus Strange. Oh, that's got to be
Strange.
Strange.
I'd say Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Maybe if they
Oh.
maybe if they made Tony Stark bigger in that poster, I would have voted for Spider-Man: Homecoming. If he took up more than a quarter of the poster, maybe I would have voted for it.
Okay, Age of Ultron versus Ant-Man. I have to go
Ant-Man.
with Age
I'm
of
going with
Ultron
Ant-Man.
personally.
I'm going with
Okay, let's
Ant-Man.
move for Ant-Man. What do we got, people?
I've never
I
seen
haven't seen Ant-Man.
I did not like Age of Ultron at all. So
Ryan, it comes down to you. What are you picking?
Age of Ultron was a huge step down from Avengers, but in retrospect, watching it, it's not fucking terrible. Ant-Man. I guess Ant-Man's fine. It's just after Ant-Man and the Wasp, I kind of hate Ant-Man because it's the same. It's just the same fucking jokes, the same fucking shit. I guess
one was directed by
Ant-Man.
Whedon, though, so you know.
Ant-Man?
I know. I guess Ant-Man.
Ant-Man it is then. Ant-Man versus Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That's got to be Guardians.
Yeah,
I'd say
Guardians. I'll give
Guardians.
Everyone else in agreement? Lyndon?
Play on.
Play on. Guardians versus Civil War. That's got to be
Why do you
Guardians.
pick Guardians in this case?
Guardians for me.
I agree. That Guardians 1 movie is pretty good.
It's the movie that made them make the entire MCU like that. So
Yeah, exactly
It
the same.
must have been pretty well received.
Oh, Jesus. Iron Man 3 or The Dark World.
They don't even want to show us the pictures for these.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd have to
God.
go with
We
Iron
didn't
Man
like
3 over The Dark World, but that's purely because The Dark World for me is trash.
I was not a fan of either one, but in this case, I'd probably go with Iron Man 3.
Lyndon?
Thor.
I would
Thor?
take Thor as well, actually.
Okay, that's
I'm
2
actually gonna
votes
go
each.
Thor.
Okay, that's 3. Lyndon,
And we get introduced to one of the fucking Infinity Stones too.
Lethal, either you tie it up or it's Thor.
I haven't seen either of them, but I would pick Iron Man 3 if I had to watch one.
4, so it gets tied up. And what did I pick? I picked Iron Man 3, so Iron Man 3 wins. Sorry, everyone. Iron Man 3 versus... Oh, that's got to be Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Winter Soldier versus Avengers. This is an interesting one.
Ooh.
Winter Soldier.
I put Winter Soldier over the Avengers.
Winter Soldier over everything.
Yeah, I would as
I think
well.
Winter Soldier is
Yeah.
the best. So
Okay, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. That's kind of tough because Avengers really kicked off everything. You know what I mean?
But it was
But
good
Winter
too.
Soldier is better.
I like Loki and Avengers. Anyway, Thor versus the Hulk. I'd have to go with Thor in this one.
Thor.
oh yeah.
Thor, everyone. Yep.
I haven't seen 4, but I'd pick Hulk.
Thor it is. Thor versus Iron Man 2. I'd have to go with Thor on this one too.
Yeah, Thor in this case.
Iron Man
Everyone in
2.
agreement? Iron Man 2. That's 2. Lyndon.
Yeah.
Thor.
Anti-Padme crowd right there.
That's 3 votes. I need one more for Thor or Greg or Ryan.
Look, the only good movie Natalie Portman ever did was Black Swan.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Not
in
the
terms of
professional.
like, I can watch a movie without bitching. Like, if there's an actress is in there that I don't like.
He's a writer that bitches everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chad. I am reading you, but I am trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Thor or Iron Man 2? I need Greg or
Thor.
Ryan.
Thor.
Thor. I've said Thor 8 fucking times.
Sorry, man.
Me too, damn it.
Easy
Jesus.
question. Just watch the fucking video.
It has
They
to
just
be
keep
Far
going
From
and going
Home,
and going.
doesn't it? It has to be
Far From
Far
Home.
From Home.
Captain Marvel.
You're the only one that's going to say that. Far From Home versus Ant-Man and the fucking Wasp.
Jump
Oh,
off the
God.
balcony.
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
I have to go to Far From Home too.
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know.
Ryan,
I'll go with
I don't
whatever
even
you guys
care.
pick.
Which one's shorter?
Shut up. Black Panther versus Far From Home.
Ah, fuck. Whichever one's shorter.
Like, I'll show Black
Pepperonis.
Nah, I'd pick Black Panther.
Everyone else Black Panther or
Yeah.
No.
No, I actually like Far From Home better than I did Black Panther. But they're neither one are rewatches for me.
okay, Ryan, it comes down to you. It's split.
Fucking, I don't know. R.I.P. Chadwick. No, actually. These are so stupid.
If you had to watch one right now, which one would you want to watch?
I guess I'd
MJ
rather.
is better than Shuri.
I guess I would take Far From Home. They're both fucking as mediocre can get.
Far From Home wins. Far From Home versus Infinity War wins that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinity War versus Endgame. Infinity War wins that.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Infinity War versus Iron Man.
I go to Iron Man. I'd rather watch Iron Man over.
Oh, that's
for-
hard. I can't just go Iron Man. Like I'm almost leaning Infinity War.
Iron Man.
It's 2 votes Iron Man. 1
It's
vote.
like, I haven't seen
I gotta be
Infinity
honest.
War.
I would rather watch Iron Man. If I'm just going strictly which one would I want to watch right now, I'd rather watch Iron Man again than Avengers Infinity War because I know like Infinity War is a half of a story and the other half sucks.
Yeah, true. Lyndon, comes down to you. Which one is it, mate?
If we watch it right now, Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man it is. Age of Ultron versus Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I have to go with Guardians on this one.
Yeah, Guardians.
I agree.
I give it over Age of
I'm going
Ultron.
Guardians.
Even as average as I think Volume 2 is, I'd watch it over again over Age of Ultron.
We're going to speed through some of these. Guardians of the Galaxy versus Ant-Man. Guardians of the
Ant-Man.
Galaxy 2.
I give it
Ant-Man.
to
I go Guardian.
That's 1 vote, 2 votes. What do we got, Lyndon?
But I haven't seen Ant-Man, so
Right now, fucking hell, Guardians.
2 votes each. Lethal.
I haven't seen either, but I'd probably pick Guardians.
Ryan.
He's thinking how he's going to.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, so that's split. What did I pick?
I don't know at this point. So just
I don't know what do you pick.
I can't remember what I picked. And now I don't even know.
you're saying we split evenly, so I assumed Ant-Man, but I don't care. Just pick one at this point.
Oh, we're going Ant-Man. Ant-Man versus Ragnarok. I'd have to go with Ragnarok.
Oh god, I don't care. I haven't seen. I've only seen Ant-Man. I've not seen Thor Ragnarok, so I can't really comment.
See,
I know,
Lyndon.
Lyndon's-
I've seen Ragnarok and not Ant-Man.
So that splits that one. Lethal or Ryan, what would you pick?
Probably Ant-Man.
Okay. Ryan?
I guess. God, why am I keep picking Ant-Man? It's not any good. All these
Ragnarok,
movies
then.
are the fucking same. That's why this is so fucking hard. All these movies are the fucking same.
Yeah. Pick Ragnarok.
Da 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 da.
All right.
Oh god.
I just want to get.
I'm picking for you. It's Ragnarok. Ragnarok
Watch that
versus
fucking
Civil
video.
War. I'd have to go with Ragnarok.
Wow, this is tough.
I'm going Ragnarok because I can't stand Civil War.
Me either.
Lyndon.
Captain America.
Okay. Mara.
I have not seen Thor Ragnarok, but I would say it's probably its biggest sin to me, and I'm talking about the Thor movie, would be that they took that and made it a comedy. As opposed to like all the issues I have with Civil War, so I'd probably go with Thor Ragnarok in this case.
I haven't seen Ragnarok, but I didn't like Civil War. But I guess I have to say Civil War because I haven't seen Ragnarok.
Ryan.
Civil.
Every time.
It's like, God damn.
Pick
Like, one of
one.
the reasons that Thor is so bad, if that was like the first Thor movie we got, it wouldn't be too bad. But the problem is they just completely departed from his character for that movie.
Yeah.
Which makes
I'll
it
ruin
so much worse.
I'll ruin your whole mythology in 3 minutes, baby.
Yeah.
I'll ruin your mythos in a minute.
Yeah.
Ruin your even better.
I'll go. I guess I would go Civil War, to be honest.
Civil War it is.
Why do I keep being the deciding factor?
Civil War versus Homecoming. I'd almost
rough.
go Homecoming.
Yeah.
No, actually, I'd pick Civil War personally. Actually, over Homecoming.
Ooh,
I'm gonna pick Spider-Man: Homecoming because it screws up less characters.
2 votes, 1. Mara,
I've not seen Spider-Man: Homecoming. I've only seen parts of it.
2 each. Lethal.
Right.
Fuck.
Ryan, start thinking now.
Oh man, I don't like either.
Pick
I
one.
probably had more fun watching Spider-Man.
Okay, 3 votes, 2 votes. Ryan.
He's dead.
I think that I think that as a whole, I get more enjoyment out of watching Civil War.
So that splits the vote.
I do think that Spider-Man: Homecoming has an incredible villain, but I'm not a big fan of him crying like a bitch at the end of that. So
Okay, so we're going Civil War.
yeah,
Civil War versus Doctor Strange. We know that Doctor Strange wins that. Guardians 1 versus Doctor Strange. This is a
no
little bit hard.
debate. He just chose it.
Yeah. This one is actually kind of hard. I overall enjoyed both, although I'm not exactly fans of both.
I'd have to go with Guardians personally.
I think Doctor Strange, just because it felt different, didn't entirely feel like it, like the MCU spiel of humor.
Cool. Lyndon.
Strange.
Lethal.
I'm leaning Guardians.
Greg.
Well, I'm gonna be. I'm not crazy about either one. Well, I mean, actually, I probably like them evenly. They're not. They're on the upper level, I think, of all the ones. But I'm gonna go with Guardians because Cumberbitch was played Khan.
Cumberbitch.
Okay. Ryan.
Guardians.
Guardians has got it.
Cumberbitch.
Thor: The Dark World versus the Hulk. I'd have to go with the Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk for this one.
I'd go Thor.
You'd go Thor.
I'd go Thor. I didn't hate Thor: The Dark World as much as everybody else, though.
Yeah, Lyndon.
Oh, I haven't seen Hulk.
So you go Thor and Lethal.
I'm the opposite. I haven't seen 4, so I have to go Hulk, and I don't like Natalie Portman.
That splits it, and that puts mine in control. Hulk versus Iron Man 3. Fuck, these are some bad movies. Putting them up.
Oh god.
Where are the good MCU movies?
I don't know. Is this
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to the end of this shit. You're fucking comparing every single one with every single one.
We have to
I
get
guess that's how rankings are.
Yeah.
Why can't we just fucking get a big board and fucking slide them to the top and up to the bottom?
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
In this case, I'd probably go with Iron Man 3.
Me too.
See, I'm gonna go Hulk on this one.
Okay. That's 2-1. Lyndon.
I haven't watched Hulk.
Okay, so that's 3. That means that'll win no matter what the votes are because I get it. I want to speed through this because we're going to talk about.
I haven't seen
You
Iron
want
Man
to speed
3?
through it so you
Yeah,
keep
that's
fucking talking? Just fucking go.
All right.
Yeah, go.
Iron Man 2 versus Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 2
Two.
wins.
2.
Avengers versus Iron Man. Avengers for me.
Avengers.
I need one more Avengers. So.
Yeah, Avengers.
Yeah, go.
Just kidding.
Thor versus Avengers.
Thor.
Avengers.
I would say Avengers.
I'd say Avengers too.
Okay.
That means Avengers wins. It's 3.
That's what I want to watch right now. Whatever.
Avengers versus Captain America: First Avenger. I would say Avengers.
I'm gonna say Avengers.
Yeah, I'm good with
Avengers.
Avengers.
One more Avengers.
I didn't like the first Captain America movie. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like. I wasn't like, wow, this is awesome.
Okay, Avengers wins it. Nobody's saying anything. I'm taking it. Age of Ultron versus Captain Marvel. I'd have to go with Age of Ultron.
In the interest of speed, can we just automatically pick whatever Captain Marvel is against? We're all probably going to say that one.
I think that's good enough. Ant-Man and the Wasp versus Age of Ultron. I'd have to pick Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I'll get to
Ant-Man
Ultron.
and the Wasp. So.
We're going that. Age of Ultron versus Black Panther. I'd have to go probably with Age of Ultron, and the only reason for that is nothing.
Go.
I'm gonna go. Like, I didn't like Age of Ultron, but at least there was some decent like down moments with the characters in Age of
chemistry and
Ultron.
stuff. Yeah, we're going with Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron versus Far From Home. Fuck, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Far From Home for me.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Which one, Lyndon?
I like Spider-Man 2.
Okay, so we're split.
Whatever.
So Lethal, sorry.
I haven't seen Far From Home, so I have to go Ultron.
Okay.
And Ryan?
Yeah, I'd probably go Ultron.
Okay, that means that wins. Ultron versus Endgame.
Endgame.
I'd go with
Endgame.
Endgame.
Endgame versus Guardians 2.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Endgame
God.
for me.
And I guess
Yeah, Endgame. Endgame.
Endgame.
Endgame versus Ant-Man.
Endgame.
Fuck, I'd almost go Ant-Man.
Haven't seen
And
it.
Endgame, because at least I've seen it.
I'd rather watch Endgame, honestly, even with its problems. I'd rather watch Endgame than Ant-Man.
Well, I'm more likely to watch Endgame because I'm more likely to watch Infinity War and kind of
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
Endgame versus Ragnarok.
Endgame.
I have not seen either, but I probably, if I were forced to choose, I'd probably go with Endgame.
Did you say you haven't seen Endgame?
Like, I don't know.
Endgame.
Fucking Mara and Lethal combined
Wow.
have not watched any movie.
Yeah. Any of these movies. Homecoming versus Endgame.
Oh, probably Endgame.
I would watch
I'm
Endgame.
more likely to watch Endgame. But I probably like
Endgame versus
Oh,
Civil
fucking
War.
Endgame, just anything Endgame, just fucking.
Endgame.
You're
Endgame.
Are we all
Except
saying
for-
Endgame? Yeah.
Yeah, let's
yeah,
pick Endgame.
Yep.
Endgame versus Doctor Strange. I'd
Strange,
go
Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange
Infinity
versus
War.
Infinity
There we
War.
go.
Infinity War.
All right.
Guardians 1 versus
Infinity War.
Infinity.
Guardians.
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Dark
Thor.
World
Anything
versus
but
Anything but fucking.
skip.
Thor. Thor 2 versus Ant-Man and the
I'd
Wasp.
go with Thor in this case.
Yeah.
Me
Thor.
too.
Me too.
Yeah. Black Panther versus Thor 2.
Oh, they're both
Thor.
blackface.
Most people said Thor. I think most people
Yeah,
said
yeah,
Thor.
probably Thor.
Yep.
Thor 2 versus Far From Home.
Spider-Man. I'm a Spider-Man now.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Anyone else?
You
I
guys
like
pick
Thor 2 actually,
I'd rather
but
Thor. I'd rather watch Thor.
I'd rather watch the Thor 2 than that one.
Okay.
maybe because I haven't seen it in so long. But
I'm going to pick Thor. Thor the Dark World versus Age of Ultron. Oh, fuck. I'd have to go Age of Ultron.
Whatever.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah. Age of Ultron's where I'm
Yeah.
going. Age of Ultron versus the Hulk. I'd have to go with the Hulk.
me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Hulk is going to be ranked surprisingly high when we're done.
Guardians 2 versus the Hulk. This is where I'd probably almost go Guardians.
Me too.
haven't
Guardians.
seen it. So I have to say Hulk.
I'm going Guardians. Iron Man 3 versus Guardians 2. Fuck.
I haven't
Guardians
seen
2. This will have to be a vote thing. Mara, what do you got? You haven't seen them.
No, I've seen
Wait.
both of them. I've
Which
seen
one?
both.
Which one?
I could. God, jeez, they're both so. But I have issues with both of them. Probably. I don't know.
Well,
Probably
maybe it's you that has the issue.
Iron Man 3. I didn't like what they did with Mandarin. I could probably watch Iron Man 3 or watch Volume 2.
That's one each. Lyndon.
Guardians.
Lethal.
I'm gonna go.
Great.
I'd watch Guardians.
I'm gonna say
Greg?
Guardians as well.
Okay, Guardians
It-
wins.
it's
Ryan,
more
would you
fun.
even want to pick one? Does it matter?
I abstain.
Cool. I'd have to go with Iron Man 2 over
Iron Man
Guardians 2.
I go with Iron Man
Yeah.
2.
Iron Man
Really?
2 for Scarlett Johansson in that
Yep.
one.
Mm.
Going that way. Iron Man 2 versus Ant-Man. I'd have to go with Iron Man 2.
Play on.
Yeah. I'll get to Iron Man 2 in this case.
Iron Man 2 versus
Iron Man
Ragnarok.
2.
I'd have to go with Iron Man
Iron
2
Man
again.
2.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2
Oh my
versus.
God, come on.
We're
Iron
almost
Man
there.
2.
We're almost there.
Come on, Spider. Fuck, whatever. Just pick whatever you fucking
Civil
want.
War versus Iron Man,
Iron Man
2.
2.
I go Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 versus Endgame.
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 All right.
Calm down. Calm down.
You're hovering over Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Endgame versus Thor. Endgame!
Thor!
Which way? Sorry, which way are we going on this one?
Endgame.
I'd go Endgame.
I don't
Endgame.
care.
Oh, you Thor haters.
Endgame versus
I enjoyed
Captain
Thor.
America: First Avenger.
Endgame.
I haven't seen Endgame. I did not care to see Endgame.
Endgame.
I'm Captain America, so that's 2 votes.
All right, Cap.
I hate everything about Captain America, so I'm going to go with Endgame. At least he's done after that movie.
Mara.
Avoid
I
you
have
like
not
Winter
seen
Soldier.
Endgame, and I have barely recollection of Captain America: The First Avenger.
Ryan.
Staying from this one.
I guess I'd pick Endgame.
All right, Endgame wins. Endgame versus the Avengers.
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 Yeah, Avengers. I go with that one.
Avengers versus Doctor Strange.
I go with Doctor
Avengers.
Strange.
Yeah, I'm a strange guy. I'm a strange guy.
It's 2 for each. Greg.
Ooh. I don't know. I'd probably watch the Avengers before Doctor Strange again.
Ryan.
Although it's not I'm not crazy about it.
I'd go Avengers.
Avengers wins. Avengers versus Guardians 1.
Avengers.
Guardian.
Avengers versus Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Infinity War, actually.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Infinity War versus Winter Soldier.
Ooh, this one's a
No. Winter Soldier versus
everything.
Iron Man. Winter Soldier.
Yep, that beats everything.
And that's it.
Oh, fuck.
We finally have our rankings. So first we've got. Can you see that? Is that?
Yep.
There we go. So we got Winter Soldier, Iron Man, Infinity War, Avengers, Guardians 1, Doctor Strange, Endgame, First Avenger, Thor 1, Iron Man 2, Civil War. Geez, that's higher than I thought it was going to be. Homecoming, Ragnarok, Ant-Man, Guardians 2, Iron Man 3, The Hulk, Age of Ultron, Dark World, Far From Home, Black Panther,
Look how far
Ant-Man and the
Black
Wasp.
Panther is down.
Yeah, look at that.
wow.
And Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You should put that list on Twitter, man. Put that list on Twitter and watch your notifications just go.
Yeah, be like
Wow.
takes that make you like all the swords point at you or whatever that one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
Do that.
Number
Just screen cap it.
number 23
Iron
and number
Man 3,
21.
like walloped Black Panther.
Yeah.
The
I don't-
Incredible
Like,
Hulk.
appreciated on Twitter by Marvel
That is the most
MCU
bigoted
fanboy.
thing.
Age of
Based on our
Ultron's
answers,
so
I
low.
don't understand why Captain America: The First Avengers ranked so high. I felt like we picked more often against it than
I
we did
thought so
for it.
too. I thought Iron Man 2 would have beaten
Yeah,
that. But
Can we watch this video?
yeah, we can. But I'll sorry, I need someone to just take over for a minute. I just need to run to the bathroom and I'll be right
Oh my
back.
Just press play on the fucking video.
I can't do that because I need to be able to pause it. So I don't know, Lyndon, speak, take over. Enjoy.
Fucking.
You're the Marvel guy.
Yeah, well, I wish we did a DC one, then we have like 3 movies to look at.
Talk
I think
about-
you can look forward to
talk
being on the racist
about-
list of YouTubers now because you're going to be, you
Quick-
put Black
quick-
Panther
Just
so low.
piss off and go piss.
Quickly talk about how Jamie Foxx is coming back.
Oh, yeah,
Wait, what?
apparently.
What?
Jamie Foxx is going to come back as a lecturer in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, let's take the most one of the most hated characters in the Spider-Man movie universe and bring him back.
But the thing is, he died. Like, I mean, I guess he could come. It could be like, he's electrical. Like, I don't understand why if you're not gonna do a Spider-Verse, why you would bring the same actor in. But I guess they did that with J.K. Simmons.
Because everything's gonna change now.
I just don't get it. Like, it's not like anyone walked away from that was like, oh, I really want to see more of Jamie Foxx as Electro.
Yeah,
I didn't even watch it.
pretty much.
But Doctor Strange is going to open up the multiverse, so let's see what happens. Could bring anything.
That's like time travel in Star Wars.
I think Feige's just scrambling to try and get ahead of DC when DC's known for doing their multiverse thing and all that stuff with Flash bringing in Michael Keaton and God knows who else is kind of hype. So Feige's like, get stuff.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could take part in that. I need to go. I got a couple things I need to knock out this morning, but
Thank you for coming in, Ryan.
Wait, what the fuck? I just saw this private chat. Hold on. Look what that is. It looks like she got rejected to play Kamala Khan. I don't know.
Ouch.
Pass. But I am going to get going, guys. Thanks for letting me take part in this epic ranking.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on and being a part of it.
That's right. And we don't say hashtag rest in power for Chadwick Boseman. We say rest in pepperonis. That's what we say. So all right, I'll talk to you guys later. See you, mate.
Later. What the
Ryno, did you watch the new South Park?
No, I haven't. I need to. We got another guest. Hello, Anna.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
how are you on this fine Friday morning?
Still awake. How are you guys?
You haven't slept since the Jack show.
No.
Crazy. You're an insane person.
I know.
Well, welcome. We just finished ranking finally. It took us about an hour just to put the MCU in some sort of order. So as you can see, this is our order. And we're going to be watching now this gentleman's video on ranking the... Oh, I didn't share the sound.
Wait,
They're not exactly copying it from Marvel necessarily. That's been a thing.
I am like 100% against that order.
Why?
It's 10 to 2 in the morning. I'm going to call it. I got to get some sleep.
Later.
I'm bugged.
Goodbye, Lethal. Thank you for coming on. Thank you.
No worries. I'll talk to you all later.
See you, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
What's your ranking?
What do you
this.
What? Yeah, what is it?
Oh, God. I like Avengers, the first one, the best. Put all of the Spider-Mans at the very bottom, and then go Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the other ones I would need to watch again. But
what do you think of our bottom ones? Black Panther,
that's
21.
Well, I think Captain Marvel is where it belongs.
At least you can agree on that. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was our ranking, just sitting down, going through it together and sort of putting it to a vote sort of thing. I'm sure everyone in the chat did their own. So let's get straight into this dude's video.
And he's wrong right off the bat.
Sean Chandler talks about is the name of his channel if you want to go check it out. He's got, 167,000 subs. So let's see what he's got to say. He seems to be a pretty big Marvel fan, as you can see. So let's just take a look.
What's this video titled?
It is titled with an ad. Let me continue that.
Yeah.
It is titled all 23 MCU movies ranked, including Spider-Man Far From Home.
Fucking nab.
Third Marvel Cinematic Universe film of the year, Spider-Man: Far From Home, swung into theaters. So today we're going to stop and rank all
swung into
23
theaters.
MCU films from the worst.
Sorry, is that really loud?
When you're doing your videos, you gotta talk like this.
Yeah, I know. Was that really loud or really quiet, or was that fine?
It's fine.
Okay.
To the best. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk movies way too much. With that,
Whoa, dude! I like to talk movies way too much.
Dude, I
Whoa.
think he lives where I live because that's how everyone talks normally.
Really? Walk down
Yeah.
the street. Hey, man, how you doing today? You really good? Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
awesome.
that's it's a Californian thing. This is like how most of the guys talk like this, especially in Southern California, and then the girls have the really bad like Valley Girl accent.
Valley Girl.
Yeah, so I much prefer this to the Valley Girl accent because this I can just be like, okay, I'm walking downtown Huntington Beach, like past a couple of skates and surf shops.
I feel like he's putting it on though, even more for this video.
Well, don't we all like get
Yeah, I
fired
suppose.
up? He's putting on a show, so I try not to judge too much unless the presentation is truly terrible.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I pick at people.
So you're only like 19 seconds into this video.
What's that?
I had to leave because I couldn't hold it any longer. I had to go to the bathroom, and I think like on 50 seconds into the video.
All right.
comment section, share your ranking of all 23 MCU films. My list isn't the right list. It's just my list.
That's right. It's not the right list.
With that said, let's get
You
started.
know what his list is?
Thor: The Dark.
What? Okay, fuck you.
Like already, the limit, like, fuck you.
Straight off the bat, the bottom.
Okay, I
for
wouldn't put
this
it that
dude
low. I
is
wouldn't put it that low.
four.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, especially when you've got Captain Marvel.
No, but you got Padme there. Padme. We've got a Padme hater. He's gone now, so Padme love.
Let's see what he has to say about
A
this.
drab sequel with an utterly forgettable villain, a plot audiences can't connect with, and no defined tone or genre. Technically speaking, it's not a poorly
I wouldn't agree with that. I mean, what? Who doesn't relate on getting ghosted by the dude you're dating and you're not over them, and then you're on an awkward date and that dude or girl just happens to come back in your life and you're in that situation? That's just one situation in the movie that I think everyone that's ever been on a date ever can relate to.
And she smacks him in the face.
Lord Vader, yes, it is terrible, but it's not as
I'm
bad.
not saying it's not bad. I'm saying it's not that bad to rank so low.
I would say that
Yeah, it's not
Civil War is probably worse than it, but I can't even remember where we ranked that in comparison.
I mean, do you still have the screen up?
I can bring the other screen up. Have you got it? Our
Let
one?
me just change the order.
So Thor: Dark World.
Oh, well, we've got it 19th.
Okay, so yeah. So like I said, like, we ranked it pretty low, but like it's not like so bad that it's where like the way he's describing it.
Various moments, but there's also nothing particularly good about it either. On the plus side, it was made a little bit more interesting by Endgame. Coming in at number 22.
Was it made more interesting by Endgame?
Yes.
Iron Man
You're just
2.
all MCU haters.
Oh,
What-
because
what
they went back there.
I'm
Because
so
they went back there. But he's made Iron Man 2, number 22.
Yeah.
How do you all feel about that?
That's
I
why I
don't think
clicked off
that
the
would be
video.
that low either.
Where did we have Iron Man 2? 10th. And he's
Yeah.
got it second last.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. It's not so bad it's that low either, at least in my opinion.
Is
see what he-
Iron Man 2, an unsatisfying mix of way too many plot lines, not nearly enough action, and some pretty obvious notes to try and set up the Avengers. The entire
I thought it was really good
What?
in regards to.
I know
all
what's
of
wrong with
that.
trying to set up the Avengers when that is your goal.
Look at
Yeah.
the posters behind you, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, like it was actually it set up the story really well. Everything about that was really good, and the way that Tony was having his like breakdowns and shit like that. Oh no, that was in number 3, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
No,
mixing
but it
them
is
up.
where we were kind of introduced more to Samuel Jackson's character and like what Shield is. And
Yeah,
that's the foundation of the whole fucking thing.
And who doesn't want to see Scarlett Johansson in that outfit, honestly? Okay.
The middle hour of this film has almost no action in it as Tony Stark tries to work out his conflicts with Rhodey, Nick Fury, the government.
As he shows a fucking action scene.
Yeah, but not only that, everything that he's talking about in regards to setting up these plot lines with the government and Rhodey and all of these things is basically setting it up, isn't it? It's, I don't know, doing exactly what it's supposed to do in my eyes. And it did it well enough.
Hard. And it's all pretty disappointing because the cast is still on their A game, and when the action does happen, it's all great. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, what? Oh no, it's number 2. Okay, yeah. Number 2 is not as good.
But even still, that means he's ranked Guardians of the Galaxy 2 lower than
Captain Marvel.
What?
Lower than Civil
Iron
War.
Man 3.
Lower than Iron Man 3.
Yeah, like again, yes, it's like, to be fair, he says this is just his opinion, so I'm not going to exactly like rip into him too much, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, were we watching the same movies?
To be fair, I actually did like Iron Man 3 better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Fair enough.
But did you like it better than Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 2 is the one with the stupid bird, right?
My bird.
Yeah.
No, I actually do think I liked Iron Man 3 better than Iron Man, but that's just because whatever the actor dude that's the villain, he was in The Count of Monte Cristo, which is like my second favorite movie.
Mickey Rourke.
And I like that he's just like, I'm just doing this because like I'm
No, the guy in Iron Man 3.
Oh, 3.
But
Yeah.
I had more enjoyment out of Iron Man 3 than I did out of 2. The whole bird dude was stupid.
I want my bird.
Okay.
I want my bird.
You want a bird?
Yeah, but I like what's his name's character.
I know.
Sorry.
The guy who was the bad guy in that one?
It was Mickey
The
Rourke.
rival tech guy.
Mickey Rourke.
No.
The primary bad guy. Sam Rockwell.
Justin
Guy
Hammer.
who
Justin Hammer.
owns Hammer Industries or whatever.
Yeah, what's the actor's? I like him.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, I think, an underrated actor. Like he was in a. So I don't like.
I loved him in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
So did I. He's so
Oh my
good.
god, that was him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played crewman number 6.
You mean Guy?
Guy, he's
Yeah,
got-
guy.
God.
That's why I think he's like an underrated actor. He can go from a comedy to like that character in Iron Man 2, and he's still believable.
He's also the villain. He's also the villain in one of the Charlie's Angels movies.
Yes, he is. He's
Yeah.
the one that Drew Barrymore is like making out with tape on her mouth, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, he's got Guardians too.
People love this film. I'm just not one of them. A lot of the humor felt like they were trying too hard
It's
to just
true.
copy the magic of the first film. Ego spends way too much time delivering exposition and taking naps, and I don't even know what they were going.
Oh my god.
I do agree with a lot of what he's saying about the movie there, but I still don't think he's ranked it very, very low in comparison to, like, I'd still rank. He's ranked Spider-Man Far From Home above this movie, and I wouldn't put it there.
I think I'm picking up a theme here. He's just like, I liked action.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps bringing up that point of like, oh, you didn't like Iron Man 2 because it didn't have enough action. This one.
Captain Marvel's going to be ranked high.
Yep.
I didn't finish watching this either. I only got up to about there. Anyway.
And with the way they structured the story, it didn't really give me anyone to root for. Though I did love what they did with Yondu, bringing us into the top.
Yeah, Yondu was probably the best
Yeah,
part
that
of
was the best part of the movie.
the movie.
Yeah, Yondu.
Puppet shit.
Yeah, Yondu and Rocket, like those scenes. I was like, when they went back to those scenes, I was invested in the movie. But then when they went back to Ego and Star-Lord and Gamora, I was like, I'm just bored out of my mind right here.
Yeah.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
No, when they're
Yeah.
jumping through like the space lanes, and he's like, "How many
Yeah.
do I have to make? 157."
Yeah.
That's funny.
We had the Hulk ranked at number 17, so we're not too far off, but he still
Yeah.
ranks
20.
Captain Marvel and all of those other ones higher than.
Yeah. Baby Megatron is like, earlier in chat, it's like, I smell a Breebot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
20 is The Incredible Hulk. As this is only the second film in the MCU and the only one put out by Universal, it has the distinction of lacking the humor and tone of the other films inside of the franchise. Still, I have a pretty good time.
Is that the one with
It's not
Eric
really-
Bana or Edward Norton?
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Edward
Eric Bana
Norton.
was years ago.
Yeah. Also, like I said earlier, to be fair, this movie is like technically, very technically is part of the MCU, but really is not because they completely ignore what this movie sets up whenever they bring about the MCU as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like his complaint here, it's totally different because it's not exactly part of the MCU.
Didn't they record the end credit scene like after? Wasn't there like a reshoot sort of thing? That end scene where the end credit scene where the general or the guy is sitting in the bar and he's drinking and Tony Stark walks in and has a conversation that he's saying that he's building a team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
But yeah, still, I actually think that like as an individual movie, I think it's fine. I think it's a bit of a fun movie, and I actually like the fact that this movie doesn't have a lot of the humor that the MCU has, because after Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the MCU just became the same thing. It was, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man. I liked it, but that's me.
There's a lot of nice touches that are reminiscent of the 70s TV show, except with a Hulk-sized budget. It's not the abomination that a bunch of people want to make it out to be, but it also doesn't smash your expectations either.
Oh, don't you love the abomination and the smash, like the little plugs that he puts in there for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clever wordplay, I suppose. Bit cringe, corny.
Number 19 is Thor.
Number 19 is Thor. This guy really doesn't like Thor.
Yeah, he doesn't. But I'm going to bet he puts Thor Ragnarok high on the list. I'm going to bet he puts Thor Ragnarok high on the list.
Oh, for sure.
We have it 19.
Thor for us is 9. 9.
And he put Thor. Where did we have Thor?
9.
Yeah. There you go. Let's see what he says about this.
Or like The Incredible Hulk, this film feels MCU trying to find its footing. Kenneth Branagh is able.
Well, it was early in the stages of the MCU, so it is.
Yeah, this is pre-Feige.
And it didn't have the budget that later films had.
Thor, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, and Captain America: First Avenger, all pre-Feige. So you can't exactly technically put these into the MCU.
I don't understand what his problem is with this movie. He's basically saying that because it's like I don't know. The fact that it's still trying to find its feet makes it a worse movie than some of the other MCU. I think it's one of the ones that actually builds the MCU to what it essentially was, obviously. But I don't know. It's a bit of a weird take on it, I think.
To bring this sense of grandeur to Asgard, and casting Anthony Hopkins and Rene Russo adds to the gravitas. But the tone shifts drastically when it goes to Earth, and so the story never fully feels cohesive to me. It's not.
I don't know really what he's saying there. I kind of liked it. I thought
it's
him going
fish out of water comedy. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, when you do fish out of water stories, that's the tone has to shift when he becomes, the character gets put into a situation that he's not familiar with and has to kind of figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trey. I prefer the earlier MCU stuff as well. Thor was good.
Not bad at all, but the hammer never quite hits the nail on the head. Then we have Iron Man 3, another black.
And then he puts Iron Man 3 in number 18. Let's see what he says about this.
The MCU. It works a lot better as a subversive Shane Black superhero film MCU film, let alone an Iron Man movie. Plot lines are abandoned after the film, and the Mandarin twist is probably left better unmentioned. Still,
I'd agree with that. The Mandarin thing.
Yeah,
I
they
really
fucked
did
up the Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
Did.
some great action in this film, and Robert Downey Jr. is absolutely on point and matches Shane Black's dialogue really well. Number 17.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was really quick.
I don't know why it's so down low on the list though, because he's like, oh, he only gave a couple criticisms. And he's like, oh yeah, and all of this stuff is good.
Where did we have Age of Ultron?
18th. We're not far off.
17th. Okay.
Is Avengers Age of Ultron. This is one of the most frustrating films in the MCU, as it has more laughs, more action, bigger set pieces, and way more plot lines than the first Avengers film. And that's...
But it's still like, I understand that Age of Ultron isn't like the greatest movie, but some of the things, like even what you were saying, Greg, earlier, like between the characters is actually really good. It's probably some of the better stuff out of the movie. The character development between characters, the chemistry between characters. I don't know.
One
of my most scenes in Age of Ultron is where they're sitting around at that party or after the party, and they're obviously trying to lift Thor's hammer and stuff. Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes from this movie.
I forgot that was an Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So I gotta add one more thing to think. This guy likes action, likes jokes. Those are the top two priorities, and he hates multiple plot lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a frequent criticism. Like there's too many plot lines. I can't follow it. It interrupts the jokes and the action.
Yeah, this has all the action and everything that he wants, but it's got too many plot lines, so he ranks it really low. I don't know. That to me is what an Avengers movie is, a multiple amount of plot lines coming together. Isn't it?
I think that was one thing that Marvel got really, really good, is having all of these, characters that have all had their own individual movies, but still make them feel all equally important, or not completely equally, but like equally enough to where they each are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like the way that they handle the multiple plot lines and have each character do their own thing, except in Endgame. That failed.
Oh, yeah, definitely failed there. But I think, again, I don't know. I think what his criticisms are towards this movie is the bits that I actually like about this movie. And, I mean, we've ranked it around the same spot, but still.
It's kind of the...
I still can't see how Captain Marvel or Civil War... Or Civil
Captain
War,
Marvel, Civil War, any of the Spider-Mans are all ranked
any of the
lower.
Spider-Mans, that's right, are ranked lower than this movie. You're absolutely right.
More isn't always better. By giving us so much of everything, nothing in particular stands out, and at times this film can be kind of confusing. While its high points do match the original...
I wasn't confused.
What's that?
I wasn't confused.
No, me either.
Yeah, this is not a complex movie or a complex plot at all.
At all.
But he's gonna say Civil War was great, and like that plot line is a lot more confusing than this one.
I would say the only confusing thing about it was that what's her face? Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver weren't mutants. Like that was the most confusing thing.
Yeah.
Like, you already know that, and so them saying, "Oh no, it's this," and I'm like, are you lying to me? Or are they is this your new terminology for it? What's going on?
I want to answer Blake's thing in the chat. Yes, Feige was named Marvel president in 2007, but the earlier Marvel films were in production before he became president. So that wasn't his choice. That was Avi Arad or whoever hired him. That was him. When Kevin Feige completely took over, when the MCU became born, that's Feige's Marvel films. Pre that, I don't consider Feige films. Because he was still following orders from someone else when those films were at least starting production.
Overall, never lived up to its predecessor.
What?
I said, I know my shit. A little bit.
Yeah.
Next up is Captain Marvel.
Hey, Captain Marvel. What did we have in 16th spot? Well, where am I going?
Iron Man 3.
Have you got the list up, do you?
Yeah, I got it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Iron Man 3.
Interesting mix of Nick Fury prequel, cosmic MCU, and fish out of water comedy. Samuel L. Jackson and his de-aging are the standout here, along with Ben Mendelsohn as Talos. But a lot of the rest.
It's funny that he's the standout in Captain Marvel's movie. I find that funny.
That could be kind of awkward in their roles, and there's some pretty big tonal shifts from scene to scene. It is a nice addition to the franchise, something different in the mix, but it's not a great film. At number 15,
Well, at least he admitted that. It's not a great film.
And that was really quick. He really brushed over that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Number 15. What did we have in 15th spot, Lyndon?
Guardians 2.
Okay.
Good.
And where did we have the first Avenger?
First Avenger 8th.
Okay, so we ranked it higher than he has. A fair bit higher.
Oh, that movie's super up on my list. When he becomes Captain America and he's in the tube thingy.
Oh yeah, your bladder. Your fucking. I was going to say your bladder explodes.
So happy. I can't tell you how the fuck that movie, like how he gets to go in the ice thing, but I remember that scene like as if I have photographic memory.
Him or Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry Cavill, hands down.
She closes her eyes and it's like she's got this computer screen on the other side of her eyelids that just show her pictures of Captain Marvel coming out of the tube thing. And
Captain Marvel.
Captain America. My apologies. Sorry, it's nearly 3 a.m. I'm getting tired. Sorry, my apologies.
Like,
Hey, I'm on your time schedule.
Yeah, you are.
Anna with Henry Cavill is like in Super Troopers where he's like enhance.
Very
uterus,
much so.
And uterus is just exploding all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
That's better than the bladder, I guess.
Yeah, it is better than the
Yeah,
bladder.
the bladder would be painful.
Yeah.
And like messy. Like that would be the worst thing to clean up.
Well, I don't know. I think a uterus exploding would be pretty messy as well. But
It's not gonna be as bad as like having to clean up urine. Oh my gosh! Not to take like the subject too far off, but so my cat, I didn't get him fixed because he's a purebred, and if somebody wants to have kittens, that's a lot of money. But he gets in the habit of peeing on things that he knows I like, and I didn't know this, but he peed on my marker bag, and so I went to go draw, and. Yeah, and so I hadn't used my markers in a while, and so when I picked up my marker, it had already dried, and when I took off the lid to start drawing, pee squirted out of it and got all over I know, and I'm like, but it's like old pee from like a month ago, so it has like an even worse smell, and I'm
It
like,
does, yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I would yell at this cat to be deaf.
Oh,
finally
that's
aged cat piss.
Yep, it was just not a good day the other day. But now I just shared my pain with you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for listening.
All right, let's continue.
The first Avenger, another film that's frustrating for me to rank as I love Captain America's origin story. When it focuses on Steve Rogers and his transformation, his romance, his heroism.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Where did he go? He disappeared. I can't. Why?
Yeah. Back. Well, put the thing over the. You're going forward, dude.
I go the wrong way.
Yeah.
When it focuses in on Steve Rogers
too early in the
and
morning.
his transformation, his romance, his hair.
There you go.
It focuses in on all the right things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just the sound of Anna's uterus. All right.
Heroism, I just love it. But the specific plot about the Red Skull, I never found particularly interesting, and the movie montages through World War II. So it's a great.
I didn't mind it.
I think that they had a very big missed opportunity because they had Hugo, who is a fantastic actor, and they just made him too goofy. If they would have done that, like him serious. Or like given better dialogue and not as goofy, it could have been done well.
I think it was the accent that threw it off, mostly for him. Like he's gonna do that weird German accent, but in Australian.
Oh, is he Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yes, I do need to go to bed, Will. You're right. Soon.
Great origin story, not a great story. Coming in at number 14 is Ant-Man.
But it was a great origin story, but not a great story. I mean, it's an origin story. That's what it was. Anyway. Ant-Man, he ranked 14th.
What kind of story does he want? Because just saying it's a good origin story, but not a good story. So what kind of story do you want? That's what
exactly.
One with only
Ant-Man was
what did you want it to be? It was an origin story. It accomplished what it was supposed to be. Obviously, it's not like I don't know, like a thriller movie or like a horror movie. Yeah, that was a horror movie. It was a terrible horror movie. But like, what? Be more specific if that's the. I don't know. I'm
It
tired.
needs to have a simple plot and have no tonal changes throughout the entire thing, and have lots of jokes.
Yeah. Where did we rank Ant-Man, Lyndon?
14.
Oh, we ranked it.
Oh, hey.
We got one exactly right with him. There you go. Never thought.
And Marvel's smallest hero made for a fun adventure, though a derivative one. Paul Rudd, Michael Pena, and the rest of the cast are absolutely delightful. And they found a way to make a high school
I'd agree with that. I do think they're delightful.
inside of the MCU exciting. But the actual story structure is way too similar to the first Iron Man film. Still, some nice...
What?
Really?
Okay. Actually, I agree with him here because if you think about it, not beat for beat necessarily, but there are major plot points in this movie that you could literally switch with Iron Man.
Yeah, because Iron Man totally had to go and do this for his daughter, who wasn't around yet.
Yeah, I guess you could say they're similar, but then you could say, well, it's similar to Batman because he has his origin and then he has to make the suit, and then like it's superhero, so yeah, there's going to be similarities. I don't know.
Well, I mean, also to be fair, you have like Hank Pym is kind of a stand-in for Tony's father, even if we don't see him, and then you have the mentor, which was what's his name in Iron Man?
Jensen.
Jeff Bridges.
What? Well, yeah, but the character's name. What's his?
Oh, you're talking about Obadiah Stane.
Yeah, Obadiah. Basically, he and the one who looked up to Hank Pym and Ant-Man are kind of like this, almost not the same, but like similar beats in terms of plot.
No, the mummy and daddy that were fighting earlier was, just to answer this question, was Mara and Lethal. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, and mommy and daddy, and then you refer to me and Ryno.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
I guess maybe. Like, okay, who's the mom?
I didn't even pick up on that. I thought it actually said Mara and Ryan, just because that's how I wanted to see it. I think.
Yeah, that's a little careful with
weird.
your answers. I mean, we all have.
Let's continue.
unassuming entertainment from Marvel. Number 13 is Spider-Man.
What did we have in number 13? That definitely wasn't Far From Home.
We had Ragnarok.
Where did we have Far From Home?
Let me go. I think I'll go down a bit. Click that. Far From Home. 20.
Wow, he's got that ranked real high.
Right, obviously he has all the Spider-Mans ranked fairly high.
Yeah, true.
This is the first one so far. That means we saw.
Sorry.
Homecoming.
I think he might like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. But see, just because you like Spider-Man doesn't mean that these are good. I mean, speak to Jeff from World Class Bullshitters. He hates Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think he likes. I think he likes Tom Holland's Spider-Man more than he likes the Amazing Spider-Man ones.
Oh, the Amazing Spider-Man is shit, though.
Yeah, it is. The best ones is definitely Toby.
Yes.
What frustrates Jeff, from what I've listened and learned on his streams, is basically that it's like, it's time to grow Peter up. Let's stop doing Peter Parker in high school movies.
Yeah.
That's a big frustration. Then obviously the fact that a lot of his abilities are based on the suit.
Yeah.
Instead of anything else. Which I mean, it's fair.
What was that? Sorry.
I said, I mean, that's a fair criticism. I'm like, I would prefer to see a more seasoned Spider-Man versus these kind of.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with how many times we've essentially seen sort of like a Spider-Man origin story and then just evolve into, you know, we've seen what the Green Goblin and then what they did with Amazing Spider-Man was just silly.
That was so bad.
Just silly. And then they tried to introduce Ryno at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that was all just silly as well. But anyway.
MCU film after Endgame, it does a great job of explaining the world after the blip. Mysterio adds some great action into the mix, and this.
I don't like Mysterio.
Did Jake Hall even do a good job? I didn't even watch this movie.
I think he did it. I think, you know, for the role that he was given and everything, he did a fine job as an actor. But the character for me was just, I thought Mysterio was Mysterio always like a technology thing? I thought Mysterio actually had power. But in this, he doesn't have any power. It's all just technology.
See, I don't know. I mean, the scene where he's like messing with Peter and with the illusions and everything and basically gets him to step in front of a train. I like that sequence. Mm-hmm. So
wasn't he like sorry. Wow.
Again, the thing that I actually didn't like about this movie the most was how that they tried to basically turn Spider-Man into that Iron Man character. They really did. And I know that there's people in the chat that will probably disagree with that, but they really did. And they played on that. And there's nothing wrong with them really playing on that, but I think that just they did it too much. It went over the top.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't hate the new Spider-Man movies. I don't mind them. I thought they're fun. I just don't take them very seriously, but they're fun. They're fun to watch.
I think it's been a better attempt at Spider-Man than the Amazing Spider-Man, but
100%.
Like, I don't watch it and think like, oh, this is Spider-Man. This is like, it's kind of like going to like a brand name store and you buy, I don't know, like a snowboard, and then you go because you forgot your snowboard at home, so you go to like Walmart or like the cheap store, the off-brand store, and you get it. And so it's like, this is the off-brand cheap Spider-Man, even though it costs millions and millions of dollars.
But this story was actually based on the comic. Like, he's a master of illusion. He does this same stuff to Peter.
Yeah, but the illusions weren't technology, as far as I remember.
Because he was an actor. He was an actor. And then,
but I believe that his illusions were actually a power that he had, as opposed to a technology that he used to create the illusions.
See that I couldn't care less about that, and I also been sacrilege. But like, I like this MJ better than the MJ that we got with Kristen Dunst.
What?
You like Zendaya?
I like Zendaya better than I like Kristen. I like the chemistry between him and Zendaya better than Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Scream.
Chemistry? Was there actually chemistry? So I haven't seen this one. Do they actually have chemistry in this movie?
Yeah,
chemistry in this one's probably better than the one in Far From Homecoming.
Yeah, like they're I mean, from a young adult kind of romancy comedy thing, they're a palatable couple. I hate the screaming damsel in movies. That's why I can't stand Kim Basinger's character in Batman '89. I didn't like Kirsten Dunst in the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire movies. It's just boring to me.
Fair enough.
Might be the funniest movie inside of the entire franchise, but that's a bit of the problem here.
I don't think it's the funniest movie in the entire franchise. I actually think one of the funniest ones is Guardians 1.
But the scenes with the teacher were pretty funny. I mean, he's so pathetic, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And the scenes with Happy aren't bad either. Like,
this movie
has some good moments.
There are some funny moments, but I still think that there's funnier MCU movies out there. And like I said, I still think Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the funniest ones.
I like the first Avengers. I like the part where it's like, this is your brother, and he's like, he's adopted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great one. And then when like Tony is having it off with Loki, and then he's like, "We have a Hulk," and then like just Hulk beating the shit out of Loki, and he's like in complete shock. I just love that.
Puny human.
Puny god.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's not.
Puny god.
I'm sorry, that kid that they got to play Flash is not Flash.
No, it's not.
I'm at 709. I lost about 10 or 15 over the last week or so, but
Oh, they did a
right.
wipe.
Yeah, I thought that was the case because it was like bang, and they all just disappeared. I was like, "What happened?"
No, you know what happened? And this, so when me and Jessie had our show, I did a little promo at the end to try to get, because she has a YouTube channel for her cat. And so like it was really close. It was at 86. I was like, let's get it over 100 because there's like however many people watching. Like just go. And so she got to like 110, and then the stream ended, and we were talking about next week's show, and then she's like, "Oh, it hasn't updated on my end," and I was like, "Oh," and I had closed my page, so I just brought it back up, and it had unsubscribed everyone that had subscribed just then.
Oh,
and so
no
that's
way.
the original number, which was 86.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. And so, yeah. And then, so, and then I checked mine, and mine got wiped by like 20 subs. YouTube
People were saying that like they were noticing that they would go on to channels and they knew that they were sub to and then see that they weren't subscribed for some reason.
Yep.
So.
Well, my last boost was again from your stream again, Anna, and I ended up at like 723 or something, and I'm at 709 now. So I just lost it was like what, about 15, roughly 14. Nothing major. I don't look too much into it, but it's going fine. I just got to keep putting out videos and keep doing my streams and keep having fun with it, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm doing an experiment right now because I noticed that my live channel was doing well. And I was like, what on earth? Why? Like, this is just like a throwaway channel just for me to re-upload things. And because it was made after YouTube made those changes, when you have to go through and you have to say, oh, this is all the stuff that I could get in trouble for, like inappropriate language, kids being in there, drugs and violence, that it doesn't have me check it. But in the beginning, it says, is this video made for kids? Yes or no? And I just put no. And then I move on. And then it moves on. And, scheduled, unlisted, private, all of that good stuff. But it doesn't have me go through all the loops that my other channel does. And I was like, that's weird. And so I haven't uploaded a video on my main channel in I think over a week. Because I'm just trying to see if it sits there, how much is YouTube going to fuck with me? And so that one day when it did the wipe on Jesse's channel, the next morning, I checked and it had wiped mine by 20, which isn't too weird. There was actually 1 week where I would get 50 new subscribers and then it would wipe 100 or around between 100 and 75. And it did that for a week. But then I also noticed is that I would post a video and it would do well. And then my view, because I have such a weird sleeping schedule, I was checking it because I was like, that's weird that usually, when you have a video and it's doing well and then all of a sudden the views kind of stop. Well, usually they'll slowly decline. They won't just automatically stop. And so it was doing that to my videos where at 3 in the morning or between 3 and 3:30, the videos would not have any views. I would still be getting comments, the likes would still be going up, but the views would stop.
Yeah.
And then I was taking screenshots of it, and that was the day that, because it was happening all week. And so I finally got screenshots and I was posting it on Twitter and I was adding YouTube. And so they DM'd me in the stupid automated response. But so when I, was making a big fuss about it on Twitter, my views went up. I got a screenshot of them going up, and then I refreshed and they went down. And so,
man, YouTube's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing for subscribers to go down, but not for views.
Yeah.
So they deleted views.
That's weird.
So they were stopping my video views. They added it because I was annoying them on Twitter. And then they went back and they deleted it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it works like it does in Ferris Bueller. You know, you watch a video backwards and it takes time away.
Yeah.
Or view away.
Oh, I don't think
How
so.
do you ever decrease in views unless you actually delete the video?
Exactly. There's no way that's not how it works. But I don't know. They're being shady. My theory on it was, it's like if you know, so if your video is doing well, let's say your video gets 1,000 views. Okay, so if you're monetized, let's just say like video makes 1,000 views. Let's say 1,000 views equals $1. So if you get 1,000 views, you're like, okay, that's $1 video. So if you make 10,000 views, you get $10. Okay, if you make 100,000 views, you get $100. So my theory on this was, you know, they show us how much we make based on revenue, and you know, from the videos that are monetized, and how many views we get usually equals how much money you make off of a video. But we have no guarantee. We have no way of knowing if that's the amount of views we're actually getting. So they could be trimming our views, even though if, like, let's say a video actually got 100,000 views, but they only show that it got 10,000 views. So they can be, you know, making money, that extra money that we would have thought that we would have gotten. We're like, okay, it makes sense. We only got paid $10 because it was only 10,000 views. But in reality, we were making $100, and they're just pocketing that money because they're skimming the views. So they could be scamming everyone.
Yeah, there's no like external audit to.
No, there's not. There's no way to track it. Yeah. It's really shady.
Well, there you go. Please check to see if you're still subscribed to all of us. Thank you. I'm going to continue. He does look like he's dropping a fart, though.
He's like leaning to the side just to let him go.
Just letting that cheek out.
Yeah.
All right.
So heavily into comedy, it sacrifices credibility. There's plenty of fun to be had, but also a number of problems.
Oh, fuck off.
Skip.
Can't. Because it's a
Cadbury favorites.
See, and he's making double ads off that, so how much
Then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. This might be the
Where did we have Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Let me have a look at
it. It was lower than 12.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, we had 22.
Yeah, fuck.
Second last.
He's got this way too high. Way too high.
And 12, we had Homecoming.
We had Homecoming here. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense.
Entire franchise by doing a simple MacGuffin story and giving it ant-sized stakes.
Blake, why did he just unsubscribe to me?
No, he just says YouTube keeps subscribing me back to Ryno.
Oh, fucking bastards.
Like, they won't let him unsubscribe.
This guy's got his order all mixed up. He really does. For a guy that likes the MCU, I don't know. I mean, each their own. But I just think
it all depends on what you like about the MCU. Like, if you're in it for the quippy, jokey stuff, yeah, there's a lot to like.
But it seems like this guy likes the action and he likes the jokey, quirky stuff, but he doesn't like the stories.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice palate cleanser after Infinity War. Coming after that film, it could feel anticlimactic, but for me, that change of pace.
Lame.
Did you have something to say there, Lyndon, or was it just a nice big groan?
Did you get it?
Is anticlimactic?
Yeah. No, I got it.
Fuck that guy.
It's so pleasant. At number 11 is.
Oh, fuck you.
Where did we have Doctor Strange?
Okay, hold on. We got Incredible Hulk at 17, and Doctor Strange back 6. We had up 6.
This is.
Is that 11? So we had 11th. We had Captain America: Civil War, and 6 we had Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
The MCU's first trip to the wizarding world of Marvel once again has a fantastic cast, and the action sequences feel like Escher drawings come to life, except with magic. But for how inventive the visuals are, it feels like the finished the Doctor Strange mythology through the Marvel origin story cookie cutter. Kicking off the top 10 is...
Whoa, that was really quick, and you didn't really have much to say about that and why it was ranked 11th. I mean, that's...
It was more negative than anything positive.
Yeah, that's right. It seemed like it should have been lower than some of the other things that he was saying about some of the other movies. Anyway, where did we have Black Panther, Lyndon?
21.
Yeah, we had a way down.
We had a way down there. Third from the bottom. Cancel Ryno, racist cunt. What did we have in 10th spot?
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. This guy's already said Iron Man 2. That was like real low for him, wasn't it?
It was the second worst movie according to him.
That's right. It was too, weirdo.
Black Panther, one of the most thematically rich and mature films in the entire MCU. They crafted a dense narrative in a creative, inventive world that can be both exciting and emotional. The downside here is that there's some pretty weak action sequences in CGI, and that's a pretty significant problem.
Yeah, I'll pay that.
Big blockbuster comic book movie. Coming in at number 9.
Yeah, fair call.
Where did we have Ragnarok?
Ragnarok 13.
And what did we have in 9th?
Original Thor.
That makes sense. He had Thor like 17th or something.
Yeah, he had that way down there.
He had that way down there, yeah.
Is Thor Ragnarok. After a pair of weaker films, Taika Waititi reignited.
After a pair of weaker films, they come out with another weaker film. Maybe not in Lyndon's eyes, but definitely in mine.
This shot? This is from the ad because this wasn't actually where it was in the movie. This was the other scene that they were going to shoot.
Yeah.
The alternate scene.
Franchise with lively characters, laugh out loud humor, and a vibrant color scheme and score. And for how funny it can be, the movie actually has serious stakes and consequences. But Taika Waititi didn't quite know.
What was that?
It does. Because the fucking planet does.
And yeah, I mean, it's a world ender, for fuck's sake. So yeah, there's some stakes.
To put on the brakes when it came to the comedy, and at times the comedy can undercut the drama. With a little bit more reserve, this might have been a top 5 movie for me. Next up is
Spider-Man Homecoming in 8th. What did we have 8th? In 8th?
Wow.
8th we had First Avenger.
Yep. This one's going to be all about how much he loves Vulture.
And we had it 12.
That's my
so
guess.
It wasn't too far off, but still. I think he's got it too high.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Finally, we see the world of the MCU from the perspective of a high schooler. The cast here is all great and bring a real human touch to an obviously fantastical story. By making Michael Keaton's Vulture not a psycho out to blow up the world, they found a way to make a compelling villain without needing to go big. And
I'll agree with that. The villain was pretty good in this movie.
He was the best part of the movie.
I agree. And he's definitely a better villain than number 2.
The best scene is him driving him to the dance.
Oh yeah, and when he turns around, he's talking to him in the back seat.
That was so good,
isn't
it? This is what Spider-Man kind of needs. It's these kind of villains that have like a little bit smaller, not world-ending events, but serious enough. Like Vulture's a bad guy. He's maybe not a world-ending psychopath, but he's not a nice guy either. He kills people pretty indiscriminately.
Just let Spider-Man be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, a little bit smaller scale stuff where you wouldn't go like, why doesn't he just call Iron Man the door and everybody else to come help him? I think, especially considering his age, it makes sense for me.
I'll have a look at that soon, Will. I've noticed that you've been saying that it's been saying that you're Open-Airlock. Everything that you've written said that it's you, but I don't know. It's weird. I'll have a look at that. It's just another YouTube glitch, I'm sure.
Me, this is one of the most rewatchable Marvel films. Number 7 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Get the fuck out of here.
Where did we have Winter Soldier?
God. 1.
Winter Soldier, top.
And where
Endgame was 7th. Our Winter Soldier.
I can't believe he actually puts this in 7th spot. I mean, I can understand if
it's maybe not funny enough. That's what it is. It's not funny enough.
But like the action in it, you know what he's going to say? The villain's not good enough.
Robert Redford? Leave Robert Redford alone.
It'll be that the
Really
fact that
alone.
just that Hydra infiltrated Shield, not a big deal. Let's see.
The Russo brothers' first MCU film has fantastic action, awesome world building, and the political thriller aspects are a change of pace inside of this franchise. I'm not as infatuated with the film as some people, but it's still a wonderfully crafted blockbuster. At number 6,
How is it fucking 7th then?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he is trying to just get through these, but give a little bit more.
He's trying to make it underneath a certain time limit. That's why.
What did we have in 6th spot, Lyndon?
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
And where did we have Guardians 1?
This Guardians 1. Fuck, I'm trying to. 5th.
5th, yeah, I thought it was close.
Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn took the MCU's biggest risk yet and possibly made the most personal and refreshing film in the entire franchise. The characters are endearing, the humor pops, and it has one of the best soundtracks of the 21st century.
The problem with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is that it was really good when it first came out because it was something different from some of the other earlier MCU movies. But then once everything sort of became very similar in regards to the comedic aspects and all of these other bits, became so much like Guardians of the Galaxy, it made Guardians of the Galaxy age really badly, sort of thing.
Yeah, and the soundtrack part, like, I do like the songs in it, but like it really is going to depend on kind of the era you grew up in and the era of music that you like. So
It's the only one that has Bowie.
I was going to bring up Bowie, Anna, but you beat me to it.
That's my dude.
Like, if you like 80s stuff, and you know, yeah, the music, you're gonna love this music. But if you don't, like, you're gonna think, what the hell is he talking about? These songs weren't good at all. I mean, it appealed to a broad audience, but not super broad. I'm sure there's people out there like, oh, this soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
Well, as much as I'd love to finish this wonderful video, I felt myself crashing. And I don't think I'm going to be able to stay awake for the rest of this. But thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on.
No problem. And I will talk to you guys all later. I'm going to go to sleep.
Sweet. Have a good sleep.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye, Anna. All right, we're nearly done, guys. We'll get through these last couple of numbers.
All right.
Movie's so good that it takes a line as sappy as "We Are Groot" and makes for a heartfelt moment.
He loves his little puns in his thing. Look at where Civil War sits. 5th. Where did we have Civil War, Lyndon?
11.
11th.
Put Civil War above fucking Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
that's
how bad.
Criminal. That's fucking criminal.
And it's all going to be the playground scene. He's going to love the action.
Yeah. The sandbox
What,
fight is
sorry, what did we have in 5th spot?
Guardians.
Guardians, that's right. Yeah.
It's like the sandbox fight at the airport.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
Can't believe Civil War is in 5th spot for him. I mean, I still think that Civil War is probably sitting a little high on our list, but I don't know.
America's Civil War. Avengers 2.5 works both because it's fun to watch all of our favorite heroes battle it out, but also because they crafted a story which justifies why our team would be torn apart.
Okay, I will give him that. In the comics, it's pretty bizarre, and I would hazard to say stupid in certain respects. Like the reason why Civil War essentially breaks out between all the superheroes and the mutants. But also, it also doesn't exactly well either in this movie. Like, even then, it's like, why isn't one of the Avengers pointing out to General Ross, hey, buddy, you were ready to nuke New York? Like the story part of New York to save like from an alien invasion. You remember that? You were ready to nuke it, right? And Winter Soldier, that was Hydra taking control of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government. Collateral damage. Some people died. Okay, that's tragic, but they were ready to kill hundreds of thousands. So okay,
I'd point out they'd be like, "You're one of your senators is Hydra, man."
Yes, one of your senators. You want to like bring that one up? You want to answer that question? Oh, and the aid workers in that little African region. Yeah, sucks. Sorry, tragedy. But he was ready to release a biological weapon. So which one would you rather of us have done? Why didn't one of the Avengers speak up in that regard?
Yeah. My issue is like the whole Sokovia Accords are dropped halfway through the movie. Basically, once they get to the airport, like it's never even brought up again. And I have no idea why the characters picked the sides that they picked. Like it's just, it's not fleshed out. Like nobody, I don't know why. Like I get why.
I agree with you. Captain. We've got to sign the Accords. Okay, I agree with you. We don't need to sign the Accords. That's it.
Yeah, I get get Tony's and Cap's perspective and why they're on the two different sides, but everybody else is just like, I don't get why they picked one over the other, or why one went this way and the other one went this way. And it was just so they could get the matchups to be like, well, we want to have these two fight, so we have to have one go on this side, one go on this side, and just pick. And that's really kind of what it felt like. And then after that point, nobody even seemed to care about the issue other than Tony and Cap. Everybody else was just kind of there, like, well, I guess I'm with this side. I don't really give a shit about the Sokovia Accords one way or the other. I didn't get their motivation at all. It was just really weak. And that's, the play fight was garbage as well, and that there was really no stakes. One dude got injured, and at the end of the movie, he's fine.
Yeah. And we get Tony Stank.
And the only ones that you can believe they would side with either one would be Falcon and Bucky Barnes. They would side with Cap. That's no surprise there.
Because of a personal friendship, yeah.
Yeah, and then Rhodes, friendship with Tony Stark, he'd side with him. Those are the only ones that you could make sense. Everyone else, I'm like, okay, what's Ant-Man's motivation? Why is he siding with Cap other than fanboying over him? What's Hawkeye
choosing a side?
Based on what we know about Natasha, would she have chosen, or Black Widow, however you want to call it, would she have chosen Iron Man, or would she have chosen Cap? Because she clearly
seems to have a better personal relationship with Cap versus.
I agree. So you would think that she would side that way, but she ends up going the other way. I don't know. There's a couple of things.
They addressed that when they were discussing it before Cap got the phone call. They said, "Aren't you the one who just told the government to go stick it?" And she's like, "Well, it's going to happen to us sooner or later, no matter what. So I'm just going to choose that."
Yeah, I think there's pragmatic reasons. I personally, I agreed with Tony Stark in the sense that just pretend obviously if there's a world-ending event, we're not going to listen to the government. We're going to still do whatever we need to do, but let's at least pretend to play along so we can continue to do what we do, rather than make enemies of the U.S. government. And that's going to make it much more hard. It's going to make it much harder for us to do our jobs if we got the government after us as well. So me personally, I'm watching the movie and I'm going, I got to agree with Tony. It's a more practical solution to at least just pretend to go along, because Tony. That Tony whole scene even by the end of this movie he says basically "fuck off, government."
And the other thing too is he's about to sign, and the only reason why he doesn't is because what's her name?
Wanda's kept.
Wanda's, yeah, that's it. When she's kept locked up in the bunker. I don't know. I just this guy's got this movie ranked way too high, and the fact that Winter Soldier is ranked below it is a really, really bad thing for a guy that loves
Winter Soldier is so much better of a movie. It's a superhero and kind of like a spy thriller, Jason Bourne kind of story.
I think all the Iron Man movies, he's ranked all the Iron Man movies below this movie too.
Yeah, this one should have been a Captain America 3, and they were trying to with the announcement of Batman versus Superman. That's the reason why this got pushed up.
Yeah, it just didn't.
They didn't need to do that. They had the momentum. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do a reaction to BVS.
I kind of feel like the reaction to is a little bit of the negative impacts of shows like Big Bang Theory. The culture's obsessed about what character would beat such and such character. Yeah, those arguments are kind of fun to have to a certain point, but that's not the only thing we talk about when it comes to superheroes.
That's right.
we're not always like, oh, who would win in a fight? Like, yeah, we do that on occasion, but that's not the dominating conversation when it comes to superhero world.
Conflict primarily comes from their competing values and their different backstories, and it's amplified by their own personal faults. It's earned drama with nerdy superhero action.
But it's only earned between Cap and Stark. The rest, it's like what you were saying, Greg. The rest of them don't really. There's not much motivation for them. They're just hired mercenaries almost by these two guys.
They're like the background thugs, you know, the henchmen.
That's right.
To just the Tony versus Cap.
Yes, he has done Captain Marvel. Where did he rank Captain Marvel? I can't remember. It was still
16,
very high.
Somewhere.
We had Captain Marvel last, and he's
he ranked at 16.
16th. Yeah. I thought he had a bit higher than that, but anyway, you might be right.
The icing on top. Coming in at number 4 is Iron Man.
Oh no, there you go. Iron Man was ranked above it. Fourth. What did we have? What did we have?
Fourth we had Avengers.
And where did we have Iron Man?
2.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm betting Black Panther's a 1 or 2 in this list.
Didn't you already do Black Panther?
I think
we already went past.
Did he,
Black
I haven't
Panther.
been. I actually that might have been when I was when I had to go leave my
Maybe.
room.
Yeah. Maybe.
Influential comic book movies of all time. From the inspired casting to Favreau and Feige nailing the tone, this movie changed the genre forever. By comparison to modern MCU films, it can feel small in scale, but the fact that it doesn't have the weight of the rest of the MCU on its shoulders means it can narrow in its focus and do a great character study on Tony Stark.
I don't understand how he can say this about this movie and not about Thor.
Yeah.
He ranked Thor like 20th or something like that. It was just ridiculous.
First MCU film is still one of the best. Winning the bronze medal is a...
Where did we have Endgame?
7.
What did we have in third?
Infinity War.
Okay. So yeah, I think he's got this ranked a little too high too. Infinity War is going to be in his number 1 spot.
Avengers Endgame. If any movie has ever earned the right to be called epic, it is Avengers Endgame. It found a way to both follow up Infinity War as well as close out 11 years of the MCU in a totally satisfying way. In the climax,
I wouldn't necessarily go so far to say
disagree.
totally satisfying way. It was all mopped up in a bit of a messy kind of, you know.
I think people in general probably would say, hey, if they like the way, if you're going to end Tony Stark's story, that was a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would highly disagree with how they didn't bring back Scarlett Johansson's. They didn't bring back Black Widow, and they basically ended Cap. The ending for Cap was pretty weak. I don't think a lot of people were like really crazy about Captain America's ending.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Iron Man, yeah, okay. If you're gonna kill him, that was fine, but Caps was dumb. Like,
Yeah,
basically,
Cap's
it's just
ending
like,
was
I quit.
is jam-packed with some of the best moments in the entire...
Oh, the
worst
woman
moment.
shows
The worst moment.
He shows that as one of the best parts. All the women.
Oh God.
Show fucking Thanos like beating the piss out of Captain Marvel. That would then I'd be like, yeah, okay, that was a good moment.
Notice how the Wasp, like, she's looking at what's her name, Cherie. Like, yeah, let's get these people. They don't even know each other. They've never met before. Yeah, girl power.
And what is she gonna do on the fucking battlefield anyway? She's an egghead.
Coneheads.
Moments in the entire MCU and some of the best fan service ever put on film.
Yeah, there was some good fan.
They set up A-Force in that shot. That's not. No.
Yeah.
It was so close to being number 1, but I was not a fan of the execution of the Big Thorbowski plot.
Okay.
Yeah,
At least he got that right.
No, he didn't. Whatever. I disagree with all of you. Whatever.
Okay.
You like Fat Thor?
Forerunner of the Avengers.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah, he likes Fat Thor.
Shame.
We had Iron Man 1 in second spot.
Iron Man 1.
And where did we have Avengers? It's like fourth, fifth, fourth. Yeah.
He pulled off what no one
Yeah, so
had
he's
done
got
before,
Infinity War
a
in top
superhero
spot.
Team-up blockbuster. The
Yeah,
story might
that's
be
no
pretty
surprise.
straightforward, but that allows for plenty of room for superhero fun. 7 years later, I still think this film has some of the best banter, and the pure heroism of the finale of this film is an absolute joy. But
It
in
is a
first
great
place,
movie. First place, we have Avengers. We had Winter Soldier. Where did we have Infinity War? Second? No, third.
Third.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War. Here, the MCU delivered one of the biggest and most comic booky films of all time. But the real magic here is how much time is spent developing Thanos. With a massive cast, a great villain, and a truly shocking ending, this film is a dream come true for superhero fans. So for me, it easily comes in at number 1. If you enjoyed this ranking, check out that playlist right over there with more MCU rankings. I got the heroes, the villains, the finales, all that.
Cool. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, I think that dude's ranking was well off on a lot of movies there. I think we can all agree that he had Civil War way too high. He had Captain and Marvel way too high. He had Age of Ultron way too high. And he had Endgame way too high. Winter Soldier he had way too low. He had it all mixed up. I like our list way more. That's the video, people. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say that wouldn't, our consensus list wouldn't be necessarily my list, but it was a lot closer than this guy's.
Yeah. Maybe we should have all just done our own lists on the panel. Everyone in the chat that did their own list. Anyway, lesson learned for next time. Well, look, as you can all tell, I am now exhausted. As I said, I had 2 coffees before I started. I was all pepped up, and now that it's 3:30 in the morning, I am exhausted and ready for sleep. There are 26 people in the chat currently watching. Thank you all for being here. We just lost 2. Thank you all for leaving. No, please smash the like button. Thank you guys for coming on. It was a great chat. Thank you, Mara, for having a fight with Lethal. That was a lot of fun to watch and listen in on. Have you got anything that you're doing today? Any streams, any videos, anything that you want to tell the people about?
I'm pretty much staying off camera, so I have to figure out a way. Even if I were to do a video, and there's no way to do it, so I'm basically just going to just binge as much as possible The Boys, so I can hopefully catch up before the last episode airs next week. So
when do we see the hair?
Is it done?
I'm not doing it on live stream. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Is it done right now?
It's done. It's done. My hair color changed.
Turn your camera on.
I'm not going to. No, I'll look.
Just for a second.
All right. If you guys can promise to keep it a secret, when you finish the stream, I will turn my camera on.
All right. Awesome.
I'm not turning it on.
Are you all jealous in the chat? No, I'm only joking. All right. So go and please. All of you go and subscribe to Mara. Thank you, Mara, for coming on. I appreciate it, as per usual. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Laura Dern hair.
Not purple. She shaved half her hair and dyed the rest purple.
I said I would get a purple wig for you. I can't call you Baby Megatron. I'm sorry, I can't call you Baby Megatron. But I can't change my hair color that drastically because I'm going to be a teacher, and there are some school districts that are a little strict in how I present myself.
Link, please. Lost Jedi, thank you for making it. Thank you for coming on and running through that with us. Anything that you've got coming up? Anything that you want to tell the people about?
A couple things. I'm still doing the Lower Decks review, so go check that out on my channel. And last night, we did our first watch party for the month of Halloween, and we did Monster Squad, and that was on the Geek Blends channel. And after we were done with the movie, we actually had on our stream as a guest the lead actor in that movie, Andre. I forget how to pronounce his last name.
I can't remember his last name either. I know it's Andre. That was awesome.
It was Andre. It was really fun to get a chance to talk to him. He's got a project coming up where there's a documentary about the making of the film and Gower.
That's it.
There's a documentary that's coming out on October 27th. You can get it on Amazon Prime. It's The Wolfman Has Nards.
I gotta watch this movie again.
Which is a play on on the movie. So do check that out. He was a great, fantastic guest. He was a really nice guy, and it was good to talk to him. It was a fun opportunity to talk to somebody that was in the movie and was the lead actor in the movie, and he spent quite a bit of time with us and even played a little trivia with us. So go check out that live stream on the Geek Blends channel if you're interested. It's right now, he's going to have one edited out soon where it's just the interview part. But if you go into the live stream, you can go ahead, probably skip through the actual watch party part where we're watching the movie and just making comments. And go right basically as the movie ends, he comes on. We also show the trailer for that movie. Should have a link for it as well. Give me just a second. And to answer Lord Vader, that is my face in the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So yeah, go and check that out. That was very, very cool. Please, everyone, go and subscribe to Lost Jedi 22 and check out his Lower Decks reviews. And are you going to do Mandalorian reviews when season 2 comes out, Greg?
Yes.
You are? Yep. Awesome.
Yeah,
I
plan to.
Go and subscribe to Greg over at Lost Jedi 22. And last but not least, Lyndon, thanks for coming on, mate. And tell everybody where they can find you and anything that you've got coming up.
I got was it Saturday? So there's 4 games of footy. It's all finals. So that'll start at 4:40 Eastern Australian time, and then that'll probably go till 10:30 at night, and then we'll have full Aussie straight after that.
Beautiful. So yes, go and subscribe to Lyndon's channel as well. And as for me, you can catch me later today if you're in the States, or tomorrow. It's still later today now if you're in Australia. On John Talks channel, that's approximately 9 hours away, roughly. John Talks, we're doing the Fantastic Four over there. Then we've got the full Aussie, of course, on Lethal Lightning's channel, and then tomorrow on the Geek Blends channel, we've got the Raging Geek Jedi show. So please go and subscribe to the Geek Blend and subscribe to me. I will be coming out with my season 1 Mandalorian season 1 review, and then I'll be coming out with my next episode of Disney Star Wars continuity, which will be on the Force abilities. So get ready for that one. So yes, please subscribe. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for putting up with that long as list that we had to get through. And thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. He did it again.
Wow.
Fucking dickhead.
Okay, I guess you guys are going to have to wait until he gets back in here before I did
it again. Fuck. I've been really good recently. I only ever done it once, and it was on my first one. And now we're anyway. Bye, everyone. Fucking idiot.
Bye.
Boom.